Game situations, a lefty only every 4, 5, or 6 days. He can go a while without batting right-handed. How does Heinle stay sharp?
He takes every day in BP. He takes 1 round of batting practice right-handed. He hits right-handed every day. Practices on that every day. Heinle works hard. He gets here early every day to the ballpark, and in our cage here, our tunnel, he hits off that tee every single day and takes a soft toss work there. He works a lot at it. It's just the fact that when you don't see that many lefties, your timing gets off. No matter how much you work and how many swings you take, you still need to face them more often to get the timing. But that's how you stay sharp, and he really works hard at it.
Yes, he does, Bobby. I can attest Heinle's one of the first couple of guys here every day. When our roving pitching instructor, former Kernel pitching coach Keith Comstock, comes to town, he's a southpaw. Does he volunteer to step in and do some BP pitching so a guy like Stacia can see lefties?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Him and Ty Van Berg, those left-handed as well. And when they come in, they like throwing BP. And our left-handed hitters, we try to get them in that hitting group so they can face the lefty. But, those guys come in, though, and we'll make sure that those guys like Heinle hit off those left-handed pitchers in batting practice.
Bobby, thanks so much. I know the All-Star break is coming up, and that's the time and Father's Day. I know, having seen how you interact with your wife and 2 children, that you've taken the template, the blueprint set by your father as being a great, great dad, a wonderful husband. Thank you so much. Please enjoy a $5 gift certificate redeemable at any of our Zio Giano spaghetti houses. In fact, I'll be sharing with the guys a little later this evening that they're going to get a real treat from Zio Giano's after the game tonight, a small token of my thanks to them, and I chose Zio Giano's to treat them to because they cater from 1 person up to 10,001. Bobby Magianis, thank you so much.
Thank you, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Same here to all you great dads. Come on out and join us for the Sunday brunch starting at 10 o'clock. Game 2 starting lineups. Kernels and Snappers are just ahead here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Telephone company, our members are owners, we make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Turner Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
It's a summer-like evening. Hey, it should be. It's the middle of June. A week ago, last weekend, we played here at home. It was 57 degrees last Saturday, 57 degrees last Sunday. But on this Friday night, Maringo night with Reggie to entertain, it's 88 degrees here at the ballpark, and the Kernels hope to make it 2 in a row over the Minnesota Twin minor leaguers, the Beloit Snappers. We welcome you to Kernel Baseball here on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. I'm your host, John Rogers, and we'll have guests this evening from Educare Learning Center. Kevin McCarville will join us. So, too, will Carl Schumacher, the city administrator with Maringo. It's Maringo night here at the ballpark. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members have taken the field. The Kernels have wrapped up their warm-ups. They're back into their first base dugout, and the Beloit Snappers, the visitors, are still loosening up down the left field line. Beloit skipper is Jeff Smith. He was a Twin 20th round pick back in 1995 out of Stetson University, and he was a catcher in the Minnesota organization from 1996 through 2002. He also played in the Red Sox and Texas Ranger systems in 2003 and 2004. And first-year skipper, 31-year-old Jeff Smith, has guided his Snappers to an above 500 record. They're 33 and 32, and Beloit is in third place in the Western Division first half standings. Actually, they slipped to fourth place in the Kernel 3-2 win last night. Beloit's in fourth place, 5.5 games back of Kane County and Peoria, and 1/2 game behind Burlington. Leading off for the visiting Beloit Snappers in right field, Terrence Patterson. Terrence is third in the league with 18 stolen bases. He's 5 behind league-leading Brad Kuhn of the Kernels. Batting second, Drew Thompson at second base for Beloit. The shortstop is all-star Paul Kelly. Kelly will hit third, and he is the Western Division all-star shortstop starter ahead of our own Hindley Stacia. Batting cleanup, Eric Liss. And Liss is second in the league with a .324 average. He's tied for the league lead in doubles with 23. Eric Liss will bat fourth and play first base for the visiting Snappers. Hitting fifth is Edward Ovalle, O-V-A-L-L-E. Ovalle in center field will bat fifth for the Beloit Snappers. Dwayne White didn't play in last night's series opener. White will hit sixth in left field. Catching out of Australia, batting seventh, Alan D. San Miguel. Alan D. San Miguel is catching and batting seventh. He's from Australia. Josh Land will serve as the designated hitter and bat eighth. He appeared in the ninth inning last night as a pinch runner. And batting ninth, the son of Minnesota Twins skipper Ron Gardenhire at third base. He didn't play in the series opener last night. Toby Gardenhire. On the hill is 20-year-old Eddie Morlan. Morlan was born in Cuba, went to high school in Miami. Eddie Morlan is 1-2 and lost 3. This is his 11th start of the season. He started the season in the bullpen, worked out of the pen 6 times. Eddie Morlan, 2-3, but his ERA is 2.67. And Morlan, get this, has struck out 62 batters in 54 innings and allowed just 40 hits in 54 innings. The league hitting only 205 against Eddie Morlan. Allen Motor Company is now proud to present the Kernels starting lineup. Allen's invites you to visit their 13-acre campus, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. They're open until 5 o'clock tomorrow. Allen Motor Company, home of the 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom, just $199 a month. That's as low as $13,890 for a 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom. Plush, lush, and affordably priced now at Allen Motor Company. Your first year's maintenance is free on that 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom if you buy now at Allen Motor Company. Leading off for the Kernels, tops in the league with 23 steals, Brad Kuhn in center field. Batting second, the switch-hitting Kernel shortstop, Hindley Stacia. Jordan Wren's back in the lineup for the first time in 8 games. He was injured last Wednesday in Davenport, colliding with catcher Brian Anderson. Wren's maintains the league lead in home runs with 13. He's driven in 43. That's 4th best in the league. Jordan is in the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup for the first time in more than a week as the DH. Batting cleanup is Mark Trumbo. Mark's at first base. He drove in the game-winning run last night in the 8th inning, and he's hitting .308 in the month of June. Brett Martinez will catch and hit 5th for the Kernels. Batting 6th, Dallas Morris at third base. Hitting 7th in the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. He had an RBI single and 2 hits last night. Marco Albano at second base. Hitting 8th is Stantrell Smith in left field. Stantrell had a pair of infield singles his last 2 times up last evening. And batting 9th in right field, playing in his 3rd game as a Kernel, is Alexander Rosario. Rosario in right field, batting 9th. On the hill is Midwest League All-Star hurler Stephen Merrick. He's won 7, lost 1. Merrick coming off an 8-3 win here on Saturday night to open up our 8-game homestand. Stephen pitched 6 innings against Fort Wayne, giving up only 1 run on just 4 hits. Merrick with a season-high 12 strikeouts in his last start in 6 innings here on Saturday night, walked only 1. Stephen Merrick, 5th in the league, and 3 teammates are ahead of him. Tommy Mendoza, Nick Egenhart, and Moose Mosbach, all 4, including Merrick, are in the top 5 in the league in innings pitched. Stephen is 5th with 80 1/3 innings pitched, and his ERA of 2.46 is the 8th lowest in the Midwest League. 22-year-old right-hander Stephen Merrick on the hill for the Kernels this evening, making his 14th start of the season. Merrick pitched against this Beloit ball club on Sunday, April 9th. The Kernels carried a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the 9th inning, only to see the Snappers rally back on April 9th at Pullman Field and whip us 3-2. But Stephen Merrick, back on April 9th in Beloit, spun 6 2/3 shutout innings, allowed only 2 hits, fanned 5, walked none. That's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. The Kernels are being introduced as they race out of their first base dugout and stand next to their Cost Cutters Dream Team companions. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is proud to present the announcement of our umpires. Isaiah Boykins will call the balls and strikes behind home plate, and his partner on the diamond is Clint Fagan. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is located on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. That makes it easy in, easy out. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is your full-service comprehensive eye care center. That means you can have your eyes examined by Dr. Anderson or Dr. Brown and then pick out your eyeglasses or contact lenses right on site at Anderson and Brown Eye Care, sponsors of our umpires. It's a beautiful, warm Friday evening. The wind is whipping from the right field foul line out towards left center. And it's a picturesque scene below with the sun shining brightly and a big crowd expected here tonight to not only see the Kernels take on the Snappers in Game 2 of this 4-game series as we head into the All-Star break after Sunday's series finale, but to see the crazy, unpredictable antics of Reggie, our guest performer here tonight. Here's a word from... an important word from Wendy's, and then the singing of the national anthem by Marengo's Kathleen Frimmy.
In words of anticipated peace time, Wendy's will always support our troops. Please stand for our national anthem to honor all those who work to preserve the freedoms we all enjoy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Water America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. It is being performed this evening by Kathleen Frimmy of Marengo.
Round of applause for Kathleen Frimmy from Marengo. It's Marengo night here at the ballpark, and Kathleen Frimmy just sang the national anthem. 88 degrees, hot, humid, that's just the way we want it. Summertime here in eastern Iowa, and we're glad you're with us on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. There was one afternoon game on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, interleague play, and at Wrigley Field, the Tigers derailed the Cubs 5-3. Tigers 5, Cubs 3. That's a final from earlier this afternoon. The State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Al Shetler. Stephen Merrick, M-A-R-E-K, 6'2", 220, 22-year-old from San Jacinto Junior College in Texas. He was Bob Brooks' guest last night at Brooks at Bat on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and Stephen reiterated how thrilled he is to be going to the All-Star game this Tuesday in Davenport. The Kernels here at home have won 15 and lost 17. And with 3 games remaining in the first half, we would have to sweep the Snappers. That is, win tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday afternoon, Father's Day, to finish the first half 1 game over 500 here at home. Overall, the Kernels are 30-37 in 6th place in the 8-team Western Division first half standings. 4 games, or 9.5 games out of first, and 3 games behind these Beloit Snappers. The snapper leadoff batter is Terrence Patterson in right field. Terrence hitting .259, no home runs, 8 RBIs. Patterson is third in the league with 18 stolen bases. He was 0-for-4 last night. We're ready for baseball on this warm, muggy Friday evening. Terrence Patterson, only 5'7", 165, a twin 35th round pick out of Lakeland, Florida, Bartow High School. And this is his 5th year of pro baseball. Stephen Merrick's first pitch is a strike called. We're underway. Beloit's hitting .254 as a team, 5th in the Midwest League. Here's a bunt by Patterson, and it's picked up in foul ground by Brett Martinez. Brett fired to first, but the plate umpire Isaiah Boykin saw that Brett Martinez 2 steps to the left of the plate, and Dale Broad, our public address announcer, picked off. He thinks that Patterson's out, but it is a foul ball by half an inch, and I don't blame Dale. From his vantage point, it probably looked like that Martinez picked it up with the bare hand, which he did on the chalk line, but it was just foul by half an inch, only 3 feet from the left of home plate. So Terrence Patterson's in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. And the next pitch is golf foul off to the right. Still 0-2 to Terrence Patterson. Terrence played with Beloit last year in 91 games, and he hit .254. Socked 4 home runs, drove in 38. Stevens' fastball is high and in for ball 2. Outfield plays Terrence Patterson straight away. Breaking pitch, strike 3 called. Terrence Patterson stands in utter disbelief. Stephen Merrick, I think that was a changeup rather than a curveball. Stephen Merrick told Bob Brooks last night on Brooks at Bat that that's been a very valuable pitch for him, is that changeup. 1 away here in the top of the first inning, and Drew Thompson, the batter. Drew's batting .247. Left-handed hitter with 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. And Thompson lifts the first pitch foul off to the left. We have a big crowd here this evening. The grass slope seating berm down the left field line, it parallels the left field line, is almost completely full of kids and families. And we'll tell you more about the groups that are on hand here tonight as we go along. Drew Thompson, 0-for-4 last night. And there's strike 2 called. A fastball on the outside corner from the Colonel right-hander, Stephen Merrick. Beloit's record on the road, only a game below 500, 15-16. Drew Thompson with a wide stance, open stance, and Merrick fires high and away. Ball 1 to Drew Thompson. Drew was a second-round pick of the Twins last year. He's only 19 years old. His father, Robbie Thompson, the former San Francisco Giants standout second baseman. Ball 2 is upstairs to Drew. Drew Thompson played in 35 games with the Gulf Coast League Twins last year and batted .257. A ground ball to second, knocked down by Albano. Marco recovers, not in time, and it's an error on the Colonel's second baseman, Marco Albano. That's a play that Marco could have made. It was grounded right at his feet, and the ball somehow trickled out of the webbing of Marco's glove. So Marco Albano, who played very well at second base last night, had 5 assists and 2 hits, is charged with his 6th error of the season. And there's 1 on, 1 out for Paul Kelly, the shortstop. 2 errors cost the Snappers the game last night. The Colonel scored 2 unearned runs. Ball 1 is up and in to Paul Kelly, the shortstop. Paul hitting .263, 3 home runs, 34 RBIs, 16 doubles. Kelly, a straightaway stance, bats from a low crouch, and ball 2 whizzes inside to the all-star shortstop. Runner at first. Drew Thompson, 1 out. Top of the first, Paul Kelly slaps the 2-0 pitch foul straight back. Paul Kelly was a second-round pick of the Twins last year. Just like Drew Thompson, the runner at first. Boy, Minnesota's had some great homegrown talent over the years, haven't they? That's what they rely on. Drew Thompson draws the throw, and he's backhand first. Terry Ryan, the general manager of the Twins, was with us last year here in Cedar Rapids almost a week. He saw Alexi Casilla enough to make a deal for the Kernel second baseman in the offseason. The runner goes, and a pitch drilled over the head of Merrick into center. Drew Thompson will race to third. The throw there, not in time. First and third, one out for Eric Liss, the second best hitter in the league. Paul Kelly hammered one right over the head of Stephen Merrick into center field. Drew Thompson was running on the play. He beat the throw by Brad Kuhn to Dallas Morris. Dallas then cocked the ball behind his ear and looked to first, but Paul Kelly was not going anywhere. And the Snappers are threatening to break out on top here tonight. They have runners at the corners with one away. Eric Liss, second in the league with a .324 average. 8 home runs, 36 RBIs. Eric was tied, or is tied for the league lead in doubles with 23. Eric Liss, nothing for 3 last night, drew a one-out walk and reached as the tying run against Kernel closer Ryan Aldridge, who notched his 13th save of the year to help make Nick Adenhart a 9-game winner. A breaking pitch is popped in the air. Stephen Merrick may have to catch it. No, it's Dallas Morris from third base, darting to his left, and Dallas took control of the situation. He caught it on the left side of the slope. Oh, what a big out as Eric Liss swung at a lollipop curve that Stephen Merrick left up in the zone. Liss lifted it straight up to the pitching mound. Dallas Morris rushed to his left, and Dallas caught it on the left side of the hill for the second out of the first inning. Now Edward O'Valley, a .259 hitter, bats with the runners at the corners. A strike called, a throw to third by Brett Martinez, and diving back safely is Drew Thompson. Thompson reached on an error. Paul Kelly, with Thompson running, singled into center, sending Drew to third. Eric Liss failed to drive the runner home from third with less than 2 out as he popped back to the mound where Dallas Morris caught it. Here's a curve, lifted into right. Alexander Rosario comes in a few steps, and Alexander Rosario has it. Wow, Stephen Merrick gets out of a tough jam. Anderson Rosario, rather. Sorry about that. Anderson Rosario, the Kernel right fielder, makes the grab to end the Beloit first inning threat. Well, Stephen Merrick had to go to work after an error and a single put runners aboard for the Snappers at the corners with 1 out. But Stephen got a pop-out and a fly-out to end the inning. No runs for the Snappers in the top of the first. 1 hit, 1 Kernel error, and the Beloit squad leaves 2 men aboard. And after 1/2 inning, it's the Snappers nothing, and the Kernels coming up. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. your family is blessed with a new baby, your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Brad Kuhn looks at a blistering fastball from right-hander Eddie Morlan, Cuban-born, went to high school in Miami. I bet Nelson Mendoza down in Miami. Tommy Mendoza's dad is familiar with Morlan. Here's a bunt, and Brad Kuhn will be out by a whisker as Morlan had to charge in and to his left. Brad popped the bunt up into the air, and then it nestled into the grass, but Eddie Morlan raced to the line, barehanded Kuhn's bunt, and threw Brad out. Brad Kuhn, the owner of an 11-game hitting streak, narrowly missed bunting his way on here in the bottom of the first inning. He's retired pitcher to first baseman Morlan to Eric Liss. Eddie Morlan, M-O-R-L-A-N, 2-3 on the year with a 2.67 ERA. Look out, Hindley Stacia has to skip the rope to get out of the way of the ball low and in from Eddie Morlan. Hindley hitting .272, no home runs, 14 RBIs, and a team-high 17 doubles. Stacia fouls the 1-0 pitch straight back. Hindley's 20 years old, from Curacao, Netherlands Antilles, 75 miles off the coast of Venezuela. Stacia wraps one into deep left center. Edward Ovalle going back, way back, and Ovalle hauls it in 400 feet away into deep, deep, deep left center. Oh, Hindley Stacia stroked it high and deep to left center. Edward Ovalle cruised back, and with the wind helping that one, he reached high and gloved it for the second out of the Kernel first inning. Hindley was 1 for 4 last night. A 2-out RBI infield single in the fifth inning tied the game at 2. The Kernels won it. Here's a deep drive foul off to the left by Jordan Renz. Jordan hitting .253, playing for the first time since a week ago Wednesday afternoon in Davenport. Renz still leads the league with 13 homers, and he's fourth in the league with 43 RBIs. Jordan batting .253. And he lofts one in the air to short. It'll be easy for Paul Kelly. 10 feet back on the grass and left. The shortstop squeezes it. And a 1-2-3 inning for right-hander Eddie Morlan. Stephen Merrick back to the hill on this warm Friday evening. We're delighted you're with us here on KMRY. After 1, it's the Snappers nothing and the Kernels nothing. And this is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one.
Do you, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Florentino?
You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared to Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
More of what you're looking for. Just yourself.
No score between the Kernels and Beloit. The Snappers are the Midwest League affiliate of the Minnesota Twins, and they send left-handed hitting Dwayne White to the plate for the first time tonight to open up the second, and White looks at a strike on the outside corner. Dwayne White from Cowley County, Kansas Community College, played in 78 games for the Snappers last year, hit .261. He takes high for ball 2. White, a left-handed batter, didn't play last night. This season, Dwayne's hitting .205, 1 home run, 9 RBIs in part-time duty. A slider on the outside edge, and Dwayne White, the left-handed batter, is down in the count 1-2. Stephen Merrick working quickly. Stephen's a broad-shouldered 22-year-old right-hander who is 7-1 this year. Fastball is chopped to short on 2 hops. Hindley Stacia looks it into his mitt, one-hands it, and tosses across the diamond to Mark Trumbo. A 6-3 putout, 1 away here in the Beloit second inning. No score. This is the 6th meeting between our 2 ball clubs. The Snappers at Pullman Field in frigid conditions to open the season in early April took 3 of 4 from us. The Kernels won last night's series opener here 3-2. So Beloit owns the season series edge 3-2. The batter is Alan D. San Miguel, and he taps one foul right off his back foot. And San Miguel, who didn't play last night, D. San Miguel, walks it off outside the dirt batting circle. Now he's back in there. Alan D. San Miguel is from Australia, right-handed hitter, and he pops one towards first. Mark Trumbo in fair ground, gloves it right in front of the base. Alan D. San Miguel pops out to first, 2 away here in the Snappers' second inning, and the batter is Josh Land. D. San Miguel pops to Trumbo at first. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization from last night. Former Colonel John Lackey pitched 7 innings, allowed 4 hits and an unearned run. He struck out 8 as the Angels lifted their record to 30-36 in a 10-inning triumph in Anaheim over Kansas City, 3-2. Former Colonel Mike Napoli drew a pinch hit walk and scored the game-winning run in the 10th inning. A pop fly into shallow left. This is trouble, and it falls in front of Stantrell Smith, and Stantrell bare hands it. Josh Land, a left-handed batter, hit a Texas League single over the head of Dallas Morris, down the line and left, and dumped it in front of the hard-charging Stantrell Smith, and that's the second hit of the evening for the Snappers. They have a runner at first with 2 away, and the batter is Toby Gardenhire. Toby batting .198 on the year, drafted by the Twins in the 41st round last year out of the University of Illinois. Toby's the son of Twin skipper Ron Gardenhire. Ball 1 low and away to Toby. AAA Salt Lake in a slugfest beat Fresno last night 14-12. Reggie's on the field, and he's behind the Beloit first base coach doing some sort of funny routine. Right now, Reggie, who's a bright pink, purplish colored mascot, is laying flat on his back behind the Snapper first base coach. Strike 1 is at the knees to Toby Gardenhire, the number 9 hitter for Beloit. Stevens' next pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. We're scoreless in the top of the second on Maringo night. Also a big group here from Educare Learning Center. We'll be hearing from their founder and president, Kevin McCarville, shortly. Stephen Merrick comes set at the belt and delivers. Swing and a miss. Stephen Merrick blew a fastball by Toby Gardenhire to end the Beloit second. No runs for the Snappers, a 2-out single. There were no Colonel errors, and the Snappers leave a runner aboard. They've now left 3. We go to the home half of the second. Kernels and Snappers scoreless here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
June is Perennial Gardening Month at Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. Start your lasting perennial garden with a great selection of new and all-time favorite perennials during this month of June at Peck's. Each week during the month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial plant special available at a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial special as you stroll through Peck's many acres of plants and flowers. The plant people at Peck's will be glad to give you all the free advice you need to start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck's is open weeknights until 8 o'clock, and they're open tomorrow and Sunday until 5 o'clock. Peck's is celebrating quite a milestone, 50 years of growing with our community. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping. They're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast. Eddie Morlan had an easy go of it in the bottom of the first inning. He retired the Kernels in order. Mark Trumbo, who's hitting a robust .308 in this month of June, will lead off. The Kernel cleanup batter, hitting .218 overall, 9 home runs, 32 RBIs. Mark Trumbo, the cleanup batter, first up here against Eddie Morlan, the right-hander. Morlan last pitched Saturday at Pullman Field in Beloit against South Bend. A no decision. He went 5 2/3 and gave up 3 runs, only 2 earned on 5 hits. Mark Trumbo hammers the first pitch fair past third, down into the left field corner where Dwayne White digs it out, drops it, but now picks it up, and Mark Trumbo has lashed, cranked, pulled, yanked a leadoff double on the first pitch of the second inning, past third, down the left field line. Mark Trumbo continues his torrid hitting in the month of June. That's his 10th double of the year. And Mark Trumbo's in scoring position with nobody out here in the Kernel second inning. Last night, Brett Martinez, in a similar situation to what he faces now, was called upon to bunt, and Brett sacrificed successfully. He's not bunting, and the ball one just misses low from right-hander Eddie Morlan. Eddie struck out 5, walked 3, and allowed 3 runs, 2 earned in 5 2/3 innings. His last start, that was Saturday at home against South Bend. The 1-0 to the right-handed hitting Martinez. Up and in, a fastball clocked at 91 miles an hour. It's 2-0 to Brett Martinez. Brett 0 for 3 last night, delivered a big sacrifice bunt in the bottom of the 8th inning that got Flint Whipke, who had reached on an error and stolen second base, to third, and then Mark Trumbo drove him home. And Martinez takes a healthy cut and fouls the 2-0 pitch straight back. We told you that Salt Lake won a slugfest 14-12 last night. That game was against Fresno. And Nick Gorneau, former Colonel, was 2 for 5 with a pair of homers and 5 RBIs. Former Colonel All-Star and Midwest League batting champ Howie Kendrick was 3 for 5 with a run driven in. Salt Lake, the AAA affiliate of the Angels, is 37-29. A breaking pitch outside corner at the knees. It's 2-2 now to Brett Martinez. Arkansas lost to Wichita 15-1. Former Colonel Matt Pauley drove in the only run for the Travelers. Their record 22-44. Trumbo at second, nobody out. Can Martinez get him over to third? A change-up out the glove of Alan D. San Miguel, and Mark Trumbo trots to third with nobody out. I don't know if that'll be a wild pitch or a pass ball. Al Gruwell is trying to decide the Colonel official score. The Colonels get a big break as the 2-2 pitch to Martinez was low, and I think it may be a pass ball on Alan D. San Miguel. The Beloit infield plays back. They'll trade a run for an out here in the Colonel's second. And a fly ball into deep left center. Dwayne White on the run. He can't get there. It's off the base of the 378 sign. White fumbles it. Trumbo scores on a double bashed into left center by Brett Martinez, and the Colonels lead it here early on, 1-0. Brett Martinez on a payoff pitch rammed it over the head of Dwayne White all the way to the 378 sign in left center. It's the 5th double of the season for Brett Martinez, and the Colonels lead it here in the bottom of the second inning, 1-0. Now the Colonels with the runner at second, still nobody out. Let's see if Dallas Morris can either advance Brett Martinez over to third or at least put the ball in play. Dallas hitting .216. And the first pitch is in on his hands. Dallas fouls it high up under the grandstand roof behind home plate. 1-0 Colonels. Back-to-back doubles by Trumbo and Martinez. I think I heard Al Gruwell, our official scorer, say that Trumbo goes to third after his double on a pass ball charged to Alan D. San Miguel. Dallas Morris, who reached on a three-base error last night and scored to tie the game at 1. That was in the second inning. Takes strike 2 call on the outside corner. Dallas was 0-for-4 last night. Boy, did he ever hit that ball deep to center that Edward Ovali dropped for a three-base error. That was his first at-bat last night. Morris lays off a fastball upstairs, 91 miles an hour, according to the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator, the lower panel of the scoreboard in right center. Trumbo and Martinez with back-to-back doubles, and the Kernels are ahead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. The 1-2 to Dallas. A change-up, and Dallas tips it foul behind home plate. Rancho Cucamonga is 3 games below 500. Michael Collins was 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs last night in a Quake 9-8 loss to High Desert. A tap back to the mound. Martinez will be thrown out trying to go from second to third. Brett Martinez thrown out by the pitcher on a check swing by Dallas Morris. Dallas reaches on the fielder's choice. Brett Martinez was thrown out easily. Eddie Morlan, the pitcher, to Toby Gardenhire, the third baseman, 1-5. One away here in the Kernel second inning, the batter Marco Albano. Albano hitting .226. Marco tied the game last night on a chopper up the middle. Here's a high pop fly to the right side of the snapper infield. In shallow right field, the second baseman, Drew Thompson, tracks it down. Drew was about 5 feet out on the grass in right, closer to first base than he was second, and Marco Albano, first pitch swinging, is popped out to second. 2 gone here in the Kernel second inning. 1-0 Kernels. Yes, Marco Albano tied the game at 1 with a bouncing ball base hit up the middle in the second inning. Marco was 2 for 3. Here's Stantrell Smith, who was 2 for 4 last night. Stantrell hitting .219, a throw to first, and Dallas Morris is back standing up. Stantrell Smith, a 16th round pick of the Angels in 2003, is 6'4", 215. Stantrell, a 22-year-old, reached on infield singles his last 2 times up last night. He was 2 for 4 and a big swing on a changeup and a miss. Strike 1 to Stantrell Smith. Runner at first, 2 away. Here in the bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Kernels. Stantrell Smith loops the 0-1 pitch foul. That one up onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace, where Gary's group, Gary Wickland and his group, are enjoying the action. Boy, that Miller Mezzanine Terrace is a wonderful place from which to watch the ball game. The runner goes, a pitch out, and D. San Miguel double clutches, throws to second, not in time. The snappers pitched out, ball 1 to Stantrell Smith, but Alan D. San Miguel couldn't get the ball out of his glove. Once he did, he pumped once, then unloaded. His throw down to the second baseman, Drew Thompson, was late. A head-first slide and steal number 9 of the season for Dallas Morris. Now the 1-2 from Morlan to Stantrell. Did he go around on a pitch in the dirt? Yes, says plate umpire Isaiah Boykins. Stantrell Smith strikes out on a half swing to end the Kernel second. 1 run for the Kernels on a pair of doubles by Trumbo and Martinez. There were no snapper errors, and the Kernels leave 1 man aboard, our first stranded of the game. Beloit comes to bat in the top of the third inning with the Kernels leading the Snappers 1-0. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hey, Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and, like, you got those butterflies every time when they call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmash.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
We're expecting Kevin McCarville from Educare Learning Center at any moment. We're welcoming back a former friend of the Kernels, Nick Campney. I'm not at liberty to actually explain what Nick did for the Kernels, but I can tell you this. He's a professional mascot in the Japanese Professional League, and we hope to visit with him a little bit later in June or perhaps early July about Japanese baseball and how important mascots are to Japanese baseball. Nick Campney, we welcome him to the ballpark and hope he's a frequent visitor here in the next few weeks. It looks like life is treating him well and that the profession of being a mascot, he's pursuing his dream. Terrence Patterson lifts the first pitch of the third inning, high and foul, down, or it's fair now. Marco Albano scurries out about 30 feet into the grass and right, and Marco Albano makes the grab. Terrence Patterson, first pitch swinging, has popped out to second. One away here in the Beloit third inning. It's 1-0 Kernels. Nick Campney, Campney, cut his teeth as one of the Herkies for the Hawkeyes. And any kids listening, parents, make sure you put your fingers into their ears so they realize they don't. I want them to not know that there's a person inside of a mascot uniform. That's a tough line to walk because here's a high pop foul on a 1-0 pitch. Dallas Morris near the Beloit dugout, but it's one row up into the premier seats, the red premier seats above the snapper dugout. Strike one on Drew Thompson. Drew reached on an error but was stranded at third in the Beloit first inning. You all know what I'm talking about. Santa Claus is real as far as I'm concerned, and so are Herky, Mr. Shucks, and tonight Reggie's at the ballpark. So Nick Campney picked a great night to come to see one of the most zany, hilarious, unpredictable acts in all of minor league baseball, Reggie. Drew Thompson on a 2-1 delivery, slices it foul onto the grass slope seating berm where the kids pile on top of each other to try to come up with it. Drew Thompson, 247 batsman, switch hitter batting left, 2 homers, 10 RBIs. Finishing up our look at Halo happenings, Rancho Cucamonga was beaten 9-8 last night. Strike 3 called. Stephen Merrick changeup gets Drew Thompson looking, and that's the third strikeout of the evening for Stephen Merrick. We have to leave the microphone for just a minute to inform Sonia Massey, our assistant, of something. Nick Campney just got a big, well-deserved hug from Sonia. Did you tell him where it was? Okay, then we should be fine, Sonia. It's on. My worries are over. 2-0 the count now. 2-0 the count to the batter, Paul Kelly. Kelly singled into center his first time up, and Stephen Merrick fires a 91-mile-an-hour fastball high and in. Ball 3 to Paul Kelly. Rancho Cucamonga, as I said, lost to High Desert 9-8. The Quakes are 3 games below 500, 32-35. Former Colonel catcher Michael Collins was 2 for 5 with 3 runs driven in. Former Colonel shortstop, second baseman, center fielder, third baseman Sean Rodriguez belted his 12th home run, but the Quakes blew a 5-run lead and lost to High Desert 9-8. Well, the count was not 3-0. It's now 2-2 to Paul Kelly. Now ball 3 way high, and it's a full count to Paul Kelly. Big crowd on hand here tonight. It's Marengo night. We've told you that Gary Wickland's group is up on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Gary's group, the payoff pitch. Inside, and Stephen Merrick has walked Paul Kelly. Kelly reaches for the second time in a row. Paul Kelly aboard at first, 2 away. And Eric Liss, the second leading batsman in the league, he's tied for second in the league in hitting with a .324 average. The dangerous left-handed hitting Eric Liss now at the plate. Eric Liss is out of the University of Evansville. Does not wear batting gloves, and that's very unusual for a modern-day player. Brad Kuhn, our outstanding leadoff hitter, usually doesn't wear batting gloves. Here's a pitch in the dirt, and it goes behind Brett Martinez, and Paul Kelly advances into scoring position. That wild pitch by Stephen Merrick, just his 5th of the season. And Paul Kelly, who walked with 2 out on a 3-2 pitch, advances to second. Let's see if Stephen Merrick can get .324 hitting left-handed batting Eric Liss to protect the Colonel 1-0 lead. Ooh, the plate umpire, Isaiah Boykins, flinched and ruled it ball 2, just low and outside. 1-0 Kernels. And a pretty brisk breeze continues to blow, although it subsided a little bit in the last inning or two. We're in the top of the 3rd inning, the 2-0 to Liss. Grounded back to the mound, knocked down by Merrick. Stephen takes his time, barehands it, and tosses to first to end the inning. Oh, Stephen Merrick knocked down a sharply hit one-hopper. It rolled to his left, our right. Stephen didn't rush himself. He pounced on it to be sure, but then flung it to first in plenty of time to get Eric Liss. The play goes 1-3. In the 3rd, no runs for the Snappers, no hits, a walk, a wild pitch. There were no Colonel errors. Beloit leaves a runner aboard. They've left 4 on already tonight. The Colonels come to bat in the lower half of the 3rd inning, holding a 1-0 lead over the Snappers. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players.
That message on behalf of Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse made my week earlier this week when he dropped me a phone voicemail on the day off Wednesday and said how much he's enjoyed being the official team physician of the Colonels, Dr. David Terse. Hope he's tuned in tonight. Hope he's here tonight. Anderson Rosario squibs the first pitch from Orlon to the left of the mound. It's charged by third baseman Toby Gardenhire. Toby on to first for the first out of the 3rd inning. Anderson Rosario, playing in his 3rd game as a Colonel, has tapped out to the left side. 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Colonels. We're ranked 11th in the 14-team Midwest League in hitting. We're batting .234. 12 points higher here at home. The Kernels are hitting .246 here at home, but a lowly .212 against the Snappers in 5 games. Ball 1 misses low to Brad Kuhn. Brad was foiled in his attempt to bunt his way on in the first inning as Morlan threw him out. Here's a line shot. One hop base hit into left. Dwayne White gets it back in. Oh, did Brad Kuhn ever hit that one right on the button as he lashes it into left for a one-out single. And now let's see if the league's leading theft artist, Brad Kuhn, puts his running ability to the test against Eddie Morlan, the right-hander, and catcher Alan D. San Miguel. A throw to first, and Brad dives back in safely. Brad Kuhn is 23 for 32 in stolen base attempts, and he leads the league with those 23 thefts. Heinle Stacia flew out to deep left center his first time up. That's where Edward O'Valley's playing, the Colonel switch-hitting shortstop, to hit into left center. Heinle Stacia bounces the first pitch foul right at the feet of the on-deck hitter, Jordan Renz. We'll be welcoming Educare Learning Center's founder and president, Kevin McCarville, shortly, along with Marengo City Administrator Carl Schumacher. They'll be in here at any moment. I'm not sure which one of them will arrive first, or they may come in together. Who knows? We're in the bottom of the third inning. Throw to first, and Kuhn is called out. Brad Kuhn, according to base umpire Clint Fagan, is out. And another Colonel base runner picked off. I told you that after the All-Star break I would have a count, and it's not something I look forward to doing, but I bet we've had 24 guys picked off first base this season. Brad Kuhn couldn't get back in time. Now a changeup drops in at the knees. Strike 2 to Heinle Stacia. Big crowd on hand here this evening. Big crowd. Heinle trying to come out of an 0-2 hole, and he lifts the pitch into shallow left center. The wind gets a hold of it and carries it deeper into left center, where Edward O'Valley flags it down. Heinle Stacia skies to center for the second straight time. No runs in the third for the Kernels. One hit by Kuhn. He was picked off, so count that as a caught stealing. There were no Beloit errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty. As we go to the top of the fourth inning, the Kernels have a 1-0 lead over the Snappers, and you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving Eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Reggie has kind of come on, flirting with plate umpire Isaiah Boykins, and I don't know if Isaiah's ready for that kind of bold forward courtship or not. Isaiah Boykins, the plate umpire, having some fun with the zany, unpredictable mascot, Reggie, who has everybody here smiling and laughing and talking about how much fun it is to come to the ballpark. Remember, we'll play here tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. The gates open at 6:40, and we'll have a fireworks extravaganza for you after the ball game. Sunday, Father's Day brunch from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock. Sunday's a family fun day. That means the Kernels will sign autographs from 1:20 until 1:40. And the Principal Family Financial Fun Fest will be on the parking lot from 11 o'clock till game time. Whistling the first pitch foul, straight back, Edward O'Valley. Nick Campney is having to head out. Nick, I have your number, and I will call because we want to have you back as a guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Nick Campney, former Herky, former Mr. Shucks, a ground ball foul between manager Jeff Smith and third base, and it's 0-2 to Edward O'Valley. O'Valley ended the snapper first inning by flying out to right, where Anderson Rosario caught it. A brisk breeze still blowing from the right field foul or the right field line towards left center. High fastball. Edward O'Valley can't catch up to it. Stephen Merrick has whiffed his fourth batter of the evening. Merrick coming off a 6-inning, 12-strikeout performance to open up this 8-game homestand. That was last Saturday against Fort Wayne. Stephen was an 8-3 winner. Dwayne White bounced out to short his first time up. Dwayne's a left-handed batter. And he pulls one foul past first. Strike one. Luvita! 1-0 Kernels. And it's top of the fourth inning. Dwayne White loops one into left for Santrell Smith, who takes 3 steps back and one-hands it. Dwayne White's 0-for-2 as he flies to left. 2 gone here in the fourth inning. Alan D. San Miguel popped out to first his first time up. D. San Miguel hitting 194. No homers, 14 RBIs. Top of the fourth inning, 2 away, bases empty for Beloit. D. San Miguel, a right-handed hitter, looks at strike one called at the knees. Nothing and 2 the count now to Alan D. San Miguel. And Stephen Merrick wastes a pitch in the dirt for ball one. Alan D. San Miguel, the catcher. Right-handed hitter. He's from Australia. Stephen Merrick into his windup, and he delivers. And a line shot into right center on a 1-2 pitch is a 2-out single. Alan D. San Miguel lashes a single into right center. Brad Kuhn retrieves it. And 1 on, 2 out. The tying run at first. The batter is Josh Land, Land. Josh singled his first time up. Land is from Okaloosa Walton Community College in Florida. Left-handed batter. Straightaway stance. And he takes ball one low and outside to Josh Land. Land pinch ran for Eric Liss at first base in the 9th inning last night. Went to second with 2 outs, but Ryan Aldridge struck out Beloit's Henry Sanchez to end the game. Kevin McCarville is here. A strike call to Josh Land. And Kevin, you have a special guest with you this evening. Your godson, Kevin, is here.
I've got my godson, Brian Miller, and his dad, Jerry Miller, from
there you go,
Iowa City.
Oh, great. Brian Miller.
Great to have him up here for Educator Day at the ballpark.
Well, that's wonderful. Here's a tap to third, a foul ball.
John, you don't have any bigger fan than Brian Miller from Iowa City.
Well, I'll tell you what. I told you, Kevin, I saw Brian recently. I can't remember when it was, Brian, but remember seeing me recently here at the ballpark?
Yeah.
Brian's doing great. He's a huge baseball fan. Loves the Kernels. And he's probably a Cub fan, too, Kevin.
Well, let's hope so.
1 and 2 to left-handed hitting Josh Land. Kevin McCarville, as promised, is here. Land slaps it to short. Near the bag at second. It's scooped up by Heinley Stacia, who has an easy force at second of Alan D. San Miguel. And in the fourth inning, no runs for Beloit. One hit. There were no Colonel errors. The snappers leave. One man aboard. They've stranded 5. We have the latitude to keep it right here, and that's what we're going to do. Kevin McCarville is with us from Educare Learning Center. And Kevin, it'd be interesting to know how you and Brian Miller first came to know each other. I have a lot of friends and relatives who are godparents to people. How did you and Brian come to know each other?
Back in 1977, Terry and Jerry Miller needed a babysitter for their oldest daughter, Jessica. They lived in Carroll, Iowa, and so did we. They called us up and asked if we'd babysit their daughter. We told them we would, and we've been friends now for over 30 years.
Fantastic story.
Yep.
Now, where is Carroll, Iowa?
West of here in southwest Iowa, down in Carroll County. Beautiful German Catholic community, John.
Well, cool. Well, you're half there, Kevin. McCarville is, I would suppose, Irish, but I'm German, and I'll tell you what, Kevin, having Brian with us with his dad brings back one of the reasons that baseball is such a fun game. It is our national pastime, and it tends to unite people. You take a night like tonight, everybody's having fun. You brought your students and parents from Educare as an annual event to thank them, and baseball just has a way, especially in a beautiful facility like we have here, Veterans Memorial Stadium, has a way of bringing people together.
Well, it's just a great family activity, and I just don't know if you can have more wholesome entertainment than coming out to the ballpark and watching the Kernels.
Well, thank you, Kevin. We'd agree with you on that score, definitely. Reggie is entertaining this evening, but right now it's the Cluckers Chicken Dance. And Kevin McCarville, I'm sure it's been a busy, busy summer for you, but Educare continues to grow and prosper, and it's become much more than you and your wife, Becky, even dreamed it could be.
Well, it's true, and we've been fortunate to have a lot of good partners along the way. We've got many of our staff members here with us this evening we consider them team members.
Sure.
And they're really the key to our success.
It's the same here at the ballpark, Kevin. We have a crew of people that work tirelessly to get the ballpark ready each and every night, and that involves a lot of elbow grease, a lot of hard work. The first impression you get of any facility is it clean? Is it a place you want to spend some time at? And I know what you mean. Your staff is the key to your success. Jordan Renz takes a changeup for a strike. Jordan's playing for the first time in 8 games. He takes strike 2 on the outside corner from Eddie Morlan. Yet another close pitching duel. We've had, it seems like every night, this scenario play out. 1-0 Kernels. And Renz slaps one off the pitcher's glove to the shortstop, and throwing out Jordan Renz is Paul Kelly. Paul had to pedal in from short after the pitcher, Eddie Morlan, Cuban-born but educated in Miami, reached up and got a piece of it. So it's a 1-6-3 putout as Jordan Renz put the ball in play on an 0-2 count. You have to credit Jordan for doing that. Mark Trumbo's been red hot in June. He doubled and scored the only run of the game in the second inning, hitting .308 in the month of June, and Trumbo swings and misses, strike 1. Well, Kevin, every time I see you, I have to ask how your other love or hobby is besides private education, and that's being a private pilot.
Well, that's true, and I've been doing a little more flying here this summer now that the weather's straightened out a little bit. And,
sure.
I enjoy every minute of it. Of course, we have business over in Sioux City, and I fly back and forth quite a bit to that.
The 0-2 to Trumbo is a good breaking pitch, low and away, and Mark is down swinging. 2 gone here in the Kernel fourth inning. 1-0 Kernels. Brett Martinez doubled into left center to plate Mark Trumbo with the only run of the game so far. Nobody on, 2 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, 1-0 Kernels, and the umpires have just asked for the lights to be turned on here at the ballpark. Colonel General Manager Jack Rader has dropped by, and Jack, I hope you'll have good news about Carl Schumacher from Marengo coming up to visit with us in a little bit. Kevin McCarville has just dropped in, and we're enjoying his company, and Carl Schumacher, the city administrator from Marengo, will follow Kevin here as our guest in a little bit. The 0-1 to Brett Martinez is upstairs. Kevin, for someone who's never flown before, would you recommend it, or does it have to be something that is a drive from within you, something that you want to do, or is it something that people should be open-minded to trying?
Well, I mean, it's the kind of thing that is not probably for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's for me.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've asked you to come up with me several times, and you politely declined each time. I'm starting to get the hint that maybe it's not for everybody.
That I'm a chicken, Kevin.
Well,
Although I'll fly commercially, but that's because I just settle back and close my eyes. And with you, I'd want to see the landscape and the countries. And you know what, Kevin? It's more of a matter of probably finding the right time. I do have a few fears of flying. Here's a line drive right at the first baseman, Eric List. Boy, did Brett Martinez hit that ball hard, but he lines out to first to end the Kernel fourth inning. It's the first time tonight the Kernels have gone in order. We'll continue our talk with the founder and president of Educare Learning Center. He's brought over 80 guests to the ballpark tonight, and I'll explain to Kevin how I might take him up on his offer sometime to go flying here in this great state of Iowa. After 4, Kernels lead Beloit 1-0, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the Summer Reading Program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, they will be invited to the Kernels Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 27th. They will receive the autographs of Kernels players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper, it's a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
With special guest Brian Miller, the godson of Kevin McCarville, founder and president of Educare Learning Center, Brian Miller's father Jerry from Iowa City. John Rogers back with you as we go to the top of the 5th inning. 1-0 Kernels. We're approaching the top of the hour, and we'd like to remind you that you're enjoying the ball game here on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. Stephen Merrick leading 1-0, faces Toby Gardenhire. A Baltimore chop to deep short. Long throw by Stacia in time. Oh, brother, Brian Miller, what did you think of that play by Kernel All-Star shortstop Heinley Stacia? I'll tell you the first thing Brian did, Kevin, he high-fived his dad, Jerry. When that ball got by over the head of Morris, I thought we had no chance, Kevin.
Take a major league arm to make that play, and he's got one.
Yes, Heinley was one of 5 Kernels that greeted your guests from Educare in the Kernel dugout at 5:20, and he signed autographs. Ball one upstairs to Terrence Patterson. Now a strike called. We're already in the top of the 5th inning with the Kernels ahead, 1-0.
John, on behalf of our families that enjoyed that tour, I want to thank you again for all your hospitality and all the time and patience you put in every year to make that tour something special for our kids.
Thank you, Kevin. It's a lot of fun for me. It really is to have the parents and the kids of all ages, and of course boys and girls. They're so attentive and so eager to learn, and same reasons they come to Educare, probably.
Yeah.
Well, no, I really do enjoy it. It provides me with a chance to do something a little different that day.
Well, we appreciate it. You do a great job.
It's been a long tradition, Kevin.
And how'd you like my hot dogs?
Oh, I had 2 of them. That should say it all.
Okay.
Both with mustard, Becky's fruit salad. I love the watermelon. 2-2 to Terrence Patterson, and a fastball buzzes right by the batter's letters, ball 3.
And my chauffeur got you back here okay?
Denny did a great job.
All right.
I'll tell you what, Denny and Terry. Terry's a dynamite teacher over at St. Jude.
Yes, she is. She's a legend.
Oh, she's full of energy.
Yep.
A hard ball, ball hit hard, whistled past Marco Albano into right. That's a one-out single for Terrence Patterson. Terrence laced it hard to the left of Marco Albano into right field. And now the Kernels have to be wary of Terrence Patterson, the tying run at first, trying to steal second. Terrence is tied for third in the league with 18 stolen bases. Actually, he's in sole possession of third. He's 5 stolen bases behind our center fielder, leadoff batter Brad Kuhn. Well, let's see if the Snappers hit and run with Drew Thompson, a left-handed batter, at the plate. The runner not going, and a pitch high, ball 1 to Drew Thompson. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Kernels. Kevin, this may be our biggest crowd of the year.
I just saw Jack out in the hallway, and I asked him if he thought it was one of his best, and he said he thought it was a good one.
That's fantastic.
This is perfect weather, perfect night. Couldn't ask for better.
You've had very good luck the last several years in this wonderful tradition of the Blues Brothers. Now tonight, your guests are seeing Reggie. There goes Patterson, a pitch out. The throw by Martinez. Yes, in time! Hey, the Kernels have cut down the potential tying run. At second, Terrence Patterson gunned out by Brett Martinez. It went Brett to Heinle Stacia. 2 away here in the 5th inning. And I'll tell you what, Kevin McCarville, you played baseball in Australia at a high level. The key to that was Martinez didn't rush his peg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you can step out like that and get yourself set, why, you've got a big advantage.
And here's a broken bat base hit past first into the right field corner. Let's see if Drew Thompson can make it to third. Digging it out is Anderson Rosario. The throw to second, holding Thompson to a 2-out double. Drew Thompson broke his bat, but he was strong enough to lift it over the head of Mark Trumbo, fair by 2 inches down the right field line, and that makes the caught stealing even bigger moments ago. Drew Thompson with his 8th double of the year, second hit in the inning for the Snappers, who trail at 1-0 here in the top of the 5th, and the batter, the dangerous number 3 hitter, Paul Kelly, he singled to center and walked. Let's see if Stephen Merrick can pitch around the 2-out broken bat double by Drew Thompson and keep the Kernels ahead. A curveball is in the dirt, blocked by Martinez. Ball 1. Kevin, some good friends of yours are down below. The Stovies.
Yeah.
Brad.
Is he behaving himself down there?
Well, he's talking to his wife and some friends. He's having some popcorn.
All right. We'll keep an eye on him, though.
A breaking pitch, ball 2 in the dirt, and Stephen Merrick is falling behind Paul Kelly, 2-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in the top of the 6th inning. A chance for you to earn a $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse.
I was Brad's high school principal.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is a very, very respected coach at Xavier. He coaches the sophomore basketball team, gets there at 5:30 in the morning, and then pursues his highly successful dental practice. In fact, he's talking to Robbie Brooks right now. 2 balls, 1 strike to Paul Kelly. Ball 3 way high from Stephen Merrick. I know Brad enjoyed a golf trip a year or 2 ago, Kevin, over to Ireland.
Isn't that something?
Boy.
I think Brad had a round or 2 of golf that he won with Zach Johnson out at Elmcrest a couple of weeks ago also as a fundraiser of some kind somewhere. I don't remember what the details were.
That's neat. Ball 4 rides high and inside. Paul Kelly reaches for not the first, not the second, but the 3rd time here in this ball game. And the Snappers with 2 outs have the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first for the dangerous Eric Liss. Liss waits as Brett Martinez pays a visit to the hill. The Kernels have been out hit tonight 5-3, but lead it 1-0. Kevin, your study skills and organizational class will come up a little bit later in August. We always advertise that here on the Kernel Radio Network, and that's a great way for families to ensure that their son or daughter gets off to a solid start in the upcoming school year?
Well, it is. It's a study skills seminar that gives middle school, high school kids kind of a booster shot before the beginning of the new school year, and kind of sharpens up some of those study skills that maybe they need to apply as soon as the school year starts. It's a good way to develop test-taking strategies and active listening skills and note-taking techniques and just a lot of things that help even good students be even better in school.
That's a very succinct synopsis of why Kevin's... Here's a strike called to Liss. Now Eric takes low, a throw to second, and that runner just got back. Drew Thompson dove in, and he has his helmet knocked off, his dark blue snapper helmet. Ball one to Eric Liss. And Kevin, you said all of those benefits to the study skills class at EduCare. Those are the same skills I needed when I was in school.
Yeah.
Note-taking, active listening, study organization, test-taking.
Mm-hmm.
The 1-1 to the left-handed batter is a changeup, and Liss fouls it high into the air over the snapper third base dugout. Eric Liss is a very dangerous hitter. He's batting with 2 out, 2 on, top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Kernels. Stephen Merrick's ahead of Liss, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-0 Kernels. Drew Thompson leads away at second. So too does Paul Kelly at first. The outfield plays Liss to hit the other way slightly. Eric bats from a low crouch. Ooh, a borderline pitch just missed outside, according to plate umpire Isaiah Boykins, and now it's the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Top of the 5th, 1-0 Kernels. Stephen Merrick has his sign from Brett Martinez, who sets up on the outer half. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called! Eric Liss jumps at the umpire, Kevin McCarville, but that was a perfectly placed 2-2 fastball outside corner at the letters.
Yeah, if it's that close, the 2 strikes, you better be taking a swing at it.
Oh, brother, Stephen Merrick works out of a tough 2-out jam as he gets the league's second-best hitter, .324 batting Eric Liss, looking to end the Beloit 5th inning. No runs for the Snappers. 2 hits, a walk, a man caught trying to steal second. There were no Kernel errors. Beloit leaves a pair. They've stranded 7. Kevin McCarville, I think we'll have one. Let's see if our guest, Jack, is our guest from Marengo arrived? Okay, that'd be great. Yes, Jack Rader, Kevin, is going to get Marengo's city administrator, Carl Schumacher. So if you can stay one more half inning.
Sure.
All right. We go to the home half of the 5th, and it's the Kernels leading Beloit 1-0. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Telephone company, our members are owners, we make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Dallas Morris lines a ball off the pitcher's leg to the second baseman, and Drew Thompson throws out Dallas. Now the question becomes, as the Jeff Smith, the manager of the Snappers, along with their trainer Riley Peterson are checking out Eduardo Morlan. Dallas Morris, hitting in tough luck, ripped one right off the pitcher's leg. It caromed right to the second baseman, and Drew Thompson threw out Dallas by a goodly margin. It goes 1-4-3. One out here in the fifth inning, and Kevin McCarville, you saw it. We heard you say, ooh, do you think Morlan will be able to stay in the game?
Well, I think so. It was one of those shots that there was no way to get away from.
No.
If it had gone low and he could have moved a foot, or if it went high and he could have moved his head or his shoulders, but right there, it's smack dab in the middle of his thigh, and there's just nothing he could do. But he's a tough kid, and it looks like he's going to walk it off.
Yes, he's only 20 years old, and you said it, Kevin. The reason I think he's going to tough it out is it hit his thigh. And he may have a Charlie horse tomorrow, and he may have George Spelius, the league president's name, embedded into his thigh, but Eddie Morlan's going to stay in there. 1-0 in favor of the Kernels. The Kernels got back-to-back doubles in the second from Trumbo and Martinez to score the night's only run. Here's Marco Albano, who first pitch swinging, popped out to second his first time up. 1-0 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the fifth already. And Kevin McCarville from Educare Learning Center is with us. Kevin, when you fly your airplane, you mentioned that weather is very important, the conditions, because John F. Kennedy made the mistake. John F. Kennedy Jr. of flying in bad weather. It happens. You never want to try to be bigger than Mother Nature.
Well, that's for sure. You just...
Here's a rocket to third on one hop. Toby Gardenhire has it, and on to first. 2 away. Marco Albano hit a one-hop bullet that was stabbed to the left of Toby Gardenhire on one hop, and he threw out Albano. 2 gone here in the Colonel fifth inning. Where do you get your weather information from? The control tower or some sort of aviation computer?
I go online, and there's some sites that I use that are pretty predictable, and then I go to... The FAA also has a flight service center that you can call, toll-free number, and you get a complete pilot briefing, and you make a decision about go or no go.
Sure. Look out. A curve is outside, and now Stantrell Smith bashes a pitch foul into the second row of the premier seats above the Colonel first base dugout. Nobody's shaken up. Stantrell batting with the bases empty, 2 gone. Here in the Colonel fifth, the Colonels lead it 1-0.
Had to
strike 2, a fastball.
Scratch more than a few flights, but my instructor always told me it's better to be down here wishing you were up there than up there wishing you were down here.
Isn't that a good term or phrase to live by? As Stantrell Smith chops one to second, easy for Drew Thompson. Stantrell is thrown out to end the Colonel fifth inning. The Colonels go in order, and that's 7 in a row retired by right-hander Eddie Morlan, 20-year-old from Miami. Well, Kevin McCarville, we thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
You've made this a tradition that I've come to really look forward to, and I want you and your godson, Brian Miller, and Brian's dad, Jerry, to have a wonderful rest of the evening here.
We will, and again, thanks for all your hospitality and for working with us again this year. We appreciate it.
Kevin, we appreciate it just as well. Kevin McCarville, founder and president of Educare Learning Center. They're here in great numbers tonight. We go to the top of the sixth. Carl Schumacher, city administrator from Marengo, is set to join us after 5. 1-0 Kernels. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are 2 hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. but you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Well, as promised, on the heels of Kevin McCarville's visit, Kevin, the founder and president of Educare Learning Center, Carl Schumacher's now joined us. 1-0 Kernels. We go to the top of the 6th inning. And the first pitch from 7-game winner Stephen Merrick is swatted foul straight back by number 5 hitter Edward O'Valley. It's Maringo night here at the ballpark, and Carl Schumacher, the city administrator, is with us. Strike 1 on the outside, or strike 2 on the outside corner to Edward O'Valley. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you coming up a little later this evening, perhaps the 7th or 8th inning in this fast-moving Game 2 of the 4-game series. Fastball wasted high by Merrick. Edward O'Valley is 0 for 2. Carl Schumacher, have you visited our ballpark before?
I have. This is the 3rd year in a row we've come here for Marengo night.
Yes, I know you've had a great tradition, Carl. And you've worked with Jack Rader to help organize it. Here's a high fly ball hit into deep left center. Kuhn broke in. Now he goes back. Brad arrives in plenty of time to haul it in. Edward O'Valley skies to center, 1 away here in the 6th inning. Carl, how big a community is Marengo?
Oh, just over 2,500 people.
So most people know everybody.
Most everybody does know everybody.
And that's one nice thing about a community like Marengo is that there's trust, there's fellowship, there's, well, for lack of a better term, you take care of each other.
Absolutely. That's definitely one of the positives living in a smaller town.
Yeah, my brother lives up in Seward, Alaska, about the same size hamlet or town as Marengo, and he loves it.
Now, how far up is that?
It's not too far up. It's, well, depends on your perspective. A change up, strike 2 to Dwayne White. Carl, it's about 2 hours west and south of Anchorage.
Okay.
So it's on the Kenai Peninsula.
A long way from Cedar Rapids. Though.
Yes, it is. It takes, you got to go to Seattle and then up to Anchorage and then drive. So it's a full day's trip. 1-2 to the left-handed batter Dwayne White. Carl Schumacher's with us from Marengo. A tap over the hill. This will be a tough play, and Stacia can't make the play. Even if Heinley had come up with it cleanly with his bare hand, he would have not thrown out left-handed hitting Dwayne White. That's an infield single for White, and the tying run is at first with 1 away here in the 6th inning. Carl, I'm sorry, my second set of headsets tends to dip. Kevin had to kind of push that microphone. There you go.
Okay.
Carl, how long have you been the city administrator in Marengo? Because you're young enough to look like a sophomore in college.
Funny you say that. Actually, my 1-year anniversary was just last week.
Super.
And then I just graduated from the U of I, 3 years ago in May.
So you're only 25 years old.
Just turned 25.
What a tremendous accomplishment and a whole lot of responsibility.
Yes, thank you very much.
Well, what's your strength? Financial planning, town planning, bringing people together cohesively? What do you bring to Marengo?
I think my biggest strength is just working well with people and being a finance major.
Yep.
I can definitely do the financial things also. So
you have your challenges just like any other town.
Absolutely. We have actually Ragbrise coming over as a spend the night town this year.
Oh, Carl, congratulations.
Thank you. That's been a lot of work, but it's a very exciting time.
And it'll mean a lot to your local businesses.
I think so.
The 1-0 to the batter is plugged foul off to the right. Allen's D. San Miguel is 1 for 2 tonight. Allen's batting with 1 away. Tying run at first. Top of the 6th inning. 1-0 Kernels. Carl Schumacher, Marengo City Administrator, alongside. Carl, did you apply for the job, or is it an elected position?
Yeah, I applied for it, actually. What we do is Cedar Rapids actually just made the switch here last summer. They voted to go to a part-time mayor and city council, and that's what we have, a part-time mayor and city council. And right now, Cedar Rapids is in the process of hiring a city manager, city administrator like I am.
Yes. Did you throw your name in the hat?
No, I didn't. I'm very happy where I'm at.
It sounds like it.
I have to say that, though. It's the mayor sitting back behind me here.
Yes. Now, Joe's with you, and Jack wasn't sure how to pronounce Mayor Joe's last name.
If you had to pronounce it, what would you guess?
Okay, I would say hello, Jose.
Close. Josiah, actually.
Josiah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. S-E-Y-E.
That's correct.
The 1-1 pitch, the runner not going. A changeup is just inside, and it's 2-1 to Alan D. San Miguel. Boy, he's been a tough out for a 194 hitter. He steps out, looks at his manager, Jeff Smith, coaching at third. The Snappers may have a hit and run on. Mark Trumbo's holding Dwayne White. White has 2 steals and 4 tries. He has a big lead at first base. I mean a big lead. He draws the throw, and he dives back in hand first.
That's quite a pitcher's duel we have going on here.
This has been the story of our season, Carl. We have, I think, the best starting 5 pitchers in the league. We've struggled to score runs all season.
Well, I saw Jordan Renz was hitting a ton here a while ago.
Jordan had a monumental night as a foul ball whistles into the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. 2-2 to D. San Miguel. Jordan had 3 home runs and a Midwest League tying
10 RBIs.
Yes, in one game.
Yeah.
Now, he's been out for a week and a half with a sore shoulder, but he still leads the league with 13 home runs.
Really?
And he's back in the lineup, as you said tonight.
He was a pretty high draft pick, wasn't he?
Yes.
4th round?
He sure was. Man, Carl, you follow baseball, don't you?
Big fan.
Who's your favorite big league team?
I should say the Angels since we're here at Kernels, but
politically correct.
Honestly, it's the Cubs, and they're not doing so well this year.
That's all right. There's a lot of Cub fans in eastern Iowa. Is the runner going? No. D. San Miguel pulls the pitch foul past third on a hanging curveball from Stephen Merrick. Well, Carl, you've got to be in the business in Marengo of trying to help the town flourish. You mentioned Ragbri. When will they come to Marengo?
That's the Thursday night on their stop. The actual date of that is July 27th.
Approximately how many riders will descend on a town of 2,500?
Well, between riders and their support people and everyone else, we're probably looking at, we'll go from 2,500 to 25,000 population for an evening.
Wow. D. San Miguel pops one foul into the first base seats.
Well, that's a nice catch.
Yeah, a fellow with the glove missed it, and a fellow with the beer caught it. Listen to the hand. Some of the folks around that guy are bowing. He caught it with his beer cup. I think he poured his beer on his head.
Oh.
That guy knows how to have fun. Somebody should buy him another cold one. The 2-2 to D-San. The runner goes. A pitch inside. The throw to second into center field. Popping to his feet, Dwayne White, but he holds. The tying run at second. And the pitch to D. San Miguel looked like strike 3 to me, but the plate umpire, Isaiah Boykins, called it ball 3. So the tying run at second. 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th inning. Boy, the Snappers have had runners all over the base paths tonight. They've out-hit us 6-3. But Stephen Merrick has yet to give up a run and is now trying to protect a 1-0 lead with a runner at second and 1 out in the 6th. D. San Miguel swats the pitch foul down the right field line into the Colonel bullpen, and it drops beyond the reach of Anderson Rosario, the right fielder. Mark Trumbo hustled all the way down the right field line and couldn't get there. Chris Howell is warming up for the Kernels in the right field bullpen as Stephen Merrick's pitch count is rising. Carl, do you have to apply to be on the route of Ragbri, or is it a lottery?
No, actually, you apply, and it's extremely competitive. There's, 900 and some odd cities in the state, and I guess they receive 200 to 300 applications every year.
Man, everybody wants people in their town because people bring prosperity. Oh, a changeup in the dirt, and the 194 hitter walks, and it's first and second, 1 out for Josh Land, a left-handed batter. Land is singled to left and grounded to first. And we have a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation unfolding between Colonel pitching coach Kernan Ronan and starter Stephen Merrick. Everyone says you've got a wonderful heart. Mercy Medical Center can help you keep it that way. Call Mercy for a heart-to-heart screening. It's quick, easy, and convenient, and it could save your life. Call Mercy for a heart-to-heart screening, 398-6821, 398-6821. And the heart-to-heart conversation sponsored by Mercy Medical Center between Colonel pitching coach Kernan Ronan and starter Stephen Merrick has concluded. Left-handed hitting Josh Land is at the plate. Carl Schumacher, how big is City Hall in Marengo? Does Marengo have a square?
We do have a real nice town square. I think that's a huge asset for the community, and our City Hall's located right on the square there. I think it's about 50 years old, not quite big enough.
Yeah. Sure, but you're right in the center of the action.
Absolutely. That's a good place for it.
It sure is, and I'm glad to hear Marengo has a town square. Strike one to the left-handed hitting Josh Land, and now Merrick delivers outside. 1-1 to the batter. Right-hander Chris Howell is working in the Colonel right field bullpen. Well, that's great, Carl, that you know the challenge that our city is undertaking, switching forms of government, and we're hiring what's called a city manager. That's in essence what you do in Marengo. Ball 2 upstairs to Land. Oh, the Snappers are on the threshold of trying to tie this game or take the lead in the top of the 6th inning. The Colonels could sure use a strikeout, pop-up, or double play. Josh Land, a left-handed batter, hitting .204. 1 for 2 tonight. Takes low and away, ball 3.
How are they grading out the prospects this year as compared to previous years? I see we've had Cedar Rapids the Angel system has had a pretty strong farm system.
We have, Carl. You really are a follower of baseball, and I'll answer that question as we go along. The 3-1 delivery to Land is poked into left field. It should be caught by Stantrell Smith. He has it for the second out of the inning. Big out as Stephen Merrick gets Josh Land to fly to left for the second out here in the 6th inning. 2 on, 2 out for Toby Gardenhire. Carl, the fellow that pitched last night, Nick Adenhart's only 19 years old. He's 9-2 to lead the Midwest League in wins. This fellow, Stephen Merrick, is 7-1. He's 22 years old. They're a combined 16-3, and that's for a ball club 7 games under 500. So those two guys, all-stars, are very high in the Angel prospect list.
Were they both pretty high draft picks?
Yes and no. Merrick was a draft and follow and got a hefty sum to sign. And Nick Adenhart had Tommy John surgery, so he was a bargain at the 14th round. But both are very highly thought of because they both throw strikes. Ball 1 is upstairs to Toby Gardenhire. And then Moose Mosbach, who's pitched in tough luck all season long, is also a prospect pitching-wise. We have Ryan Aldridge, who with 13 saves is our closer. Brad Kuhn leads the league in stolen bases. He's the Colonel center fielder. Heinle Stacia is a very good shortstop. Those are to name a few. Ooh, ball 2 just missed inside to Gardenhire. It's 2-0.
We've seen a lot of good ball players here in Cedar Rapids the last few years. I mean, Brandon Wood last year, was that 2 years ago? Brandon Wood.
You bet.
Kochman, Mathis, all those, McPherson.
And Dallas is back with the big club. Doing well for Mike Socha's crew. The 2-0 to Toby. Ooh, a high fastball. Gardenhire checked his swing, and the ball ricochets foul straight back. That would have been ball 3 to the number 9 hitter, but Gardenhire went around. Toby's a small guy out of the University of Illinois. His gray Beloit road trousers look like pajama pants. They're very baggy on him. Tyne run at second. Dwayne White. Alan D. San Miguel, the go-ahead run at first with 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Strike 2 called, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from the Colonel right-hander, Stephen Merrick. Yes, Carl, those guys you mentioned, along with Howie Kendrick and Eric Ibar, have all had tastes of the Angels.
Even Bobby Jenks played here, didn't he?
He sure did, and he has 19 saves for the White Sox. Bobby was a bit of a problem for the Angels. A broken bat looper caught by the second baseman, Marco Albano, to end the inning. Toby Gardenhire broke his bat, cued it to second. Once again, Stephen Merrick works out of tough situation. Case in point, the Snappers had runners at first and second, only 1 out, but Merrick got Josh Land to fly to left after falling behind him 3-1. He fell behind Toby Gardenhire 2-0, but got Toby to break his bat and hit a soft liner to second. No runs for Beloit in the top of the 6th inning. 1 hit, an infield single, a walk, a stolen base. There were no Colonel errors, and the Snappers leave 2 more. They've stranded 9. We're going to keep it right here with Carl Schumacher of Marengo. He's the city administrator. And Carl, yes, Bobby Jenks pitched here as a starter in the year 2000.
Now, he had a live arm, but he was a bit of a head case, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't real mature. Now, he's turned out to mature. He has a wife and 2 children. He's really become a man. But here he was not quite, he didn't have his priorities in the order that the Angels wanted them. It does not mean he was a bad kid or a malingerer or a bad influence. Bobby was a really neat kid.
Sure.
But it sometimes shows you that the best break you can get in baseball is to be Rule 5 or to be released. And credit the White Sox for good scouting. They knew Bobby had that live arm you're talking about. Carl Schumacher, Joe Tsai, correct?
Yes.
Joe said that he smiled and said, now, John, don't ask me any tough questions. Would Joe like to join us for a half inning?
What do you think, Joe? All right, I'll turn it over to Joe then.
Hey, Carl, congratulations. I know you've done great things in your community, and thank you for putting this high on your priority list.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having us. I'm sure we'll be back next year.
We can't wait.
Thank
Carl
you.
Schumacher, the youngest city manager I know, 25 years old.
Youngest in the state, actually.
That is something to be very proud of, Joe. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Well, Joe Tsai, S-E-Y-E is with us. And, Joe, you've got a young whippersnapper there that has his act together, don't you?
He does a very good job.
He sure does, Joe. I'll tell you what, to have a kid 25 years old that he has time not only to help Marengo grow and prosper, but, man, he's an encyclopedia as far as being a baseball fan.
Yes, he's a lot better than I am.
Well, Joe, welcome aboard as the number 9 hitter, Anderson Rosario, pops one foul into the screen. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question coming up for you in the top of the 7th inning. We're in the bottom of the 6th. The Kernels got back-to-back doubles from Trumbo and Martinez and are clinging to a 1-0 lead facing Eddie Morlan here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Joe, were you born and raised in Marengo?
No, I was born in California in 1954.
Here's a line drive into shallow center. Edward Ovalle comes in, traps it. It's a base hit for Anderson Rosario, a sinking liner. Great effort by Edward Ovalle, but he couldn't come up with it, and that snaps the string of 7 in a row retired by 20-year-old Eddie Morlan. What part of California, Joe, were you born in?
San Diego.
Boy, it's tough to leave San Diego.
I was only 2 and 0.
Okay. And what brought you to Iowa? Your family moved?
Dad and Mom originally from Marengo area and Victor area.
Well, super.
And I was raised more or less around the Victor area, and then I've been in Marengo for 15, 16 years.
The runner goes, a pitch out. D. San Miguel throws to second. It's cut off by the shortstop who tags out Rosario. Ooh, the snappers stole our signals. They knew a hit and run was coming, and the caught stealing goes catcher D. San Miguel to shortstop Paul Kelly, and poor Anderson Rosario was out between first and second. The snappers just stole our signals. It's that simple. A pitch out, and Rosario was out by plenty. Brad Kuhn ahead 1-0 in the count. Here's a bunt by Brad, and it rolls foul up the third baseline. Well, Joe, for those folks that haven't been to Marengo recently or maybe ever in our listening area, a couple of things that make it a great place to live and unique.
Well, we've got the industrial park we're trying to get going, and this Ragbri thing, I'm really excited about it.
You are too.
Yes, I'm ready to see a lot of people come to town. We have a big housing development that's coming on.
Cool.
Trying to get that going.
And where do your high school kids go to high school?
Right in Marengo there.
Good.
We have an elementary also in town that's separate, about 4 blocks from the high school.
Okay.
So it's 7th through 12th in the high school and kindergarten through 6th at the elementary.
Strike 2 to Brad Kuhn. Joe Tsai is with us. He's the mayor of Marengo, Iowa. They're our featured community here tonight at the ballpark. And, Joe, I didn't have a chance to ask Carl as Kuhn takes strike 3 called on the outside corner. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 Kernels. I didn't have a chance to ask Carl how many folks you think came from Marengo tonight.
Oh, I'm guessing over 400, I think.
Wow. Terrific. Out of a community of 2,500.
Yes. Very good turnout.
Oh, Joe, do you have a municipal or private golf course?
Yes, we do. South of Marengo, 2 miles.
What's the name of it?
The Marengo Golf Course.
Cool. Well, that's... I asked that because golf has become so popular here.
Yes. It's a 9-holer out there.
Finally, Stacia hits one high and deep to right. Terrence Patterson back in front of the warning track. Adios! Joe Tsai, home run number 1.
Yes, now it's 2-0.
Yes, 2-0 Kernels. Hailey Stacia circles the bases with his first home run of the season.
Was that 390?
Over the 390 mark. It snuck over the 8-foot-high wall over the head of Terrence Patterson. It's only the second home run surrendered by right-hander Eddie Morlan, and the Kernels lead it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0. 2-0 Kernels. Jordan Renz at the plate. Well, Joe Sy, you just saw all-star shortstop Heinley Stacia connect for his first home run of the year.
He'll remember that one.
Oh, yes, he will. And here on Maringo night, so will the great folks at Maringo.
Yes.
That's another $25 in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign donated to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. PRC has now donated $1,025 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. That's home run number 41 for the Kernels, who lead it 2-0. Jordan Renz is in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Jordan, playing for the first time in over a week, takes a fastball outside. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 2-out home run by Heinley Stacia, his first of the year, gives the Kernels a 2-0 lead. Chris Howell may take over in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-2 to Renz. Swing and a miss, high gas from Eddie Morlan, and that's his 3rd strikeout of the game. 1 run on 2 hits for the Kernels in the 6th inning. The home run by Stacia, his first of the year. There were no snapper errors. The Kernels leave. Nobody aboard. Well, Joe, I'm going to leave it up to you. We'd love for you to stay another half inning. We also know you have 400 friends and constituents down below.
I hope so.
Well, I'm sure so. Would you like one more half inning, Joe?
Oh, I better get back down and visit my friends down there, don't you think?
That's up to you. We'd love to have you.
Oh, I should go down there probably. Carl, he does pretty good.
Well, both of you do great. I can see why Maringo's thriving and prospering. You guys are just great fellas, both of you.
Well, I hope we're both doing a good job.
I'm sure you are. Joe, thanks a million.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you and Carl organizing the whole effort. To have 400 in a town of 2,500 says so much about Maringo.
It's a good turnout.
It's a great turnout in a great town. Joe Say, thank you. Joe Sy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joe Sy, he's the mayor of Maringo, Iowa. We go to the top of the 7th inning, and the Kernels now on top of the Snappers, 2-0. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, vine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. And when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talents. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
We've had great guests here so far tonight, and it's time for our Springhouse trivia question. But first, a U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen has Chris Howell working. Terrence Patterson slugs the first pitch fair down the left field line. Over to get it, Stantrell Smith. Patterson's digging for second. He is safe. Stantrell Smith makes a fine throw, but a leadoff double on the first pitch from Chris Howell by Terrence Patterson. Terrence Patterson's at second with nobody out. We're in the top of the 7th, and the Kernels lead it 2-0. U.S. Cellular, proud to bring us this Colonel call to the bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. First, let's give you the final line on starter Stephen Merrick. 6 scoreless innings. Stephen allowed no runs on 6 hits. The Colonel right-hander struck out 5 snappers. He walked 3. And the Colonels lead it here in the top of the 7th, 2-0. Chris Howell delivers to Drew Thompson. Low, ball 1. Again, the final line on Stephen Merrick. 6 innings pitched. He allowed no runs on 6 hits, struck out 5, walked 3. And ball 2 just misses low to left-handed hitting Drew Thompson. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in a little bit here in the top of the 7th. 2-0 Colonels. Runner at second for Beloit, nobody out. And Drew Thompson hits a towering pop fly into shallow left. That should be the first out of the inning. Stantrell Smith gloves it with one hand. 1 out. Oh, a big out as Drew Thompson on a 2-0 pitch failed to pull the ball on the ground. He could not get Terrence Patterson from second to third, and as a result, it'll take a base hit from either Paul Kelly or Eric Liss if the Snappers are to cash in on the leadoff double by Terrence Patterson. Well, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill is alongside for the first time tonight. Strike 1 from Howell to Paul Kelly. And Luvita, how's Chris Howell fared so far this season?
Well, with a 1-4 record, this is his 21st appearance. Howell has a 4.50 ERA, and he's pitched 34 innings. He has 2 saves, and he's had 36 players hit against him. He struck out 27 and has walked 13, and the league is hitting .286 against Chris.
He's ahead of Paul Kelly, 0-2 as Paul took a strike. Now a base hit into right. Let's see if Rosario, he overran it for an error. The run scores. The tying runs goes to second. Anderson Rosario overran that ball, and now the Snappers are on the verge of tying the game. Paul Kelly on an 0-2 pitch, lines a single into right. And an error on Anderson Rosario, his first of the year, allows Terrence Patterson to score. E9. More importantly, it allows Paul Kelly to go to second base on Rosario's overrun of the base hit. Now the Snappers have a great chance to tie the game. It's 2-1 Colonels here in the top of the 7th inning. Poor Chris Howell gives up a hit on an 0-2 pitch. And credit Paul Kelly for waiting back on that pitch and lining it into right. Now here's Eric Liss. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And on a night tonight, Luvita Hill, we better remind our listeners what the Springhouse serves in the way of refreshments.
The Springhouse serves beer and wine coolers and coffee, which is only 85 cents. And with that beer and wine coolers, you can get chicken strips or taco salad for only $5.20.
Now that sounds like a summer meal as Eric Liss fouls the 1-1 pitch off to the left. 2-1 Colonels. The difference in the game now, a 2-out home run by Heinley Stacia in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're in the top of the 7th. The Snappers have the go-ahead run at second with only 1 out, and Eric Liss 0 for 3 tonight facing Chris Howell. Strike 3 call. The changeup at the knees. Liss drops his shoulders in utter despair at the call by Isaiah Boykins, the plate umpire. Big second out here in the 7th inning as Eric Liss is caught looking for the second out. 2-1 Colonels. We have a Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you. If you've been one of our 32 previous winners, please don't call in this evening. Swing and a foul off the fists of Edward O'Valley, strike 1. Luvita will give you the question here in the top of the 7th, along with the phone number. Luvita, for a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, what's our question?
Name the former Cedar Rapids Red who, as a Cincinnati Red, struck out a Major League record 9 straight times over the course of 2 games.
Here's a base hit into left. Stantrell Smith's throw home, and the runner is safe at the plate. We're tied 2-2. We're tied here in the 7th inning on Edward O'Valley's line drive single into left. The throw by Stantrell Smith was late, a good throw, but late. And the Snappers have jumped on reliever Chris Howell and scored a pair. here in the top of the 7th, and the Colonel lead, which was 2-0, is now kaput. It's 2-2. And Levita will have the Springhouse trivia question for you once again right now.
Name the former Cedar Rapids Red, who was a Cincinnati Red, struck out a Major League record 9 straight times over the course of 2 games. The number to call, 896-7589. Once again, 896-7589.
And Levita's going to the phone right now. A $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Name the former Cedar Rapids Red, who was a Cincinnati Red, struck out a Major League record 9 straight times over the course of 2 ball games. 896-7589, 896-7589, 896-7589, the number to dial for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Dwayne White, who was 1 for 3 tonight, slices a 1-0 pitch foul off to the left. Dwayne's a left-handed batter. 2 runs here in the top of the 7th. On 3 snapper hits. Here's a ground ball single into center. And the go-ahead run stops at second. 4 hits in the inning by the Snappers. Dwayne White singles through the middle. Stopping at second, Edward O'Valley. And Beloit now has a chance to take the lead here in the top of the 7th inning in a 2-2 game. Dwayne White singles through the middle. First and second, 2 out, and the 7th man to bat against Chris Howell here in the 7th inning is Alan D. San Miguel. Chris Howell, 22-year-old right-hander from the University of Tennessee. Last pitch Saturday here at home, went 2 innings, allowed Fort Wayne 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 3, walked none. Alan D. San Miguel takes a breaking pitch, strike 1 called. Kernels have right-hander Rafael Cruz up and throwing in the bullpen in this 2-2 contest. We'll repeat our Springhouse trivia question for you. The 0-1 to D. San Miguel outside for ball 1. Name the former Cedar Rapids Red outfielder who, as a Cincinnati Red, struck out a Major League record 9 straight times over the course of 2 games. The 1-1 hit the batter, and the bases are loaded. The 1-1 pitch hit the batter. Edward Oval goes to third, Dwayne White to second, and now the Snappers with 2 out have loaded the bases in their quest to take the lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Here comes Bobby Magallanes, and he's going to go to the bullpen. Bobby is going to have to lift Chris Howell. Chris pitches 2/3 of an inning. So far, he's surrendered 2 runs on 4 hits. Chris Howell struck out 1. He walked none, and he hit a batter. And a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Brad Beck, a lefty, now comes in for the Colonels. Brad Beck. Well, we've yet to stump you in 10 years of the Springhouse trivia question. Could tonight be the first time? That's not our aim. We want someone to earn that $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Name the former Cedar Rapids Red who, as a Cincinnati Red, struck out a Major League record 9 straight times over the course of 2 games. The number to call for your chance to earn the $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, 896-7589, 896-7589, 896-7589. This fella played with the Dodgers, the Cardinals, the Orioles. He overcame cancer. He made a fantastic catch in Game 4 of the 1990 World Series to help Cincinnati win the World Series over Oakland in 4 games. He overcame cancer in his life. And he was the first man to hit 20 home runs and steal 80 bases. But he also set a Major League record by striking out 9 times in a row over the course of 2 games. 896-7589. 896-7589. 896-7589, the number to call for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. And if we don't have the correct answer, well, we'll give you the answer in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be the first time ever we've stumped our great listening audience, and I'm sure Lester Schmitz at the Springhouse won't mind that. Lester wants the questions to be challenging, and this one perhaps just a bit too tough, even with those hints. Josh Land, a switch hitter, will now bat right-handed. And a breaking pitch low from left-hander Brad Beck. Ball 1. What a rally by the Snappers here in the top of the 7th. They've loaded the bases with 2 out. Strike one from the Colonel lefty. Hey, we didn't stump you tonight. Sounds like we have a winner in our Springhouse trivia question. The 1-1 to the switch hitter, Josh Land. Swing and a foul straight back as Brad Beck floated a changeup high and away, and Land reached out and stroked it foul. Well, it was just a matter of time before the Snappers finally broke through. They have out-hit us 10-5, and they've tied the game here in the top of the 7th. Have the bases loaded with 2 out. And the 1-2 pitch from the Colonel lefty. In the dirt, and the go-ahead run will score on a wild pitch. That run is charged to Chris Howell. Streaking across the plate, Edward O'Valley to make it 3-2 Beloit. Dwayne White goes to third. Alan D. San Miguel up to second. And Beloit has rallied. They've scored 3 runs here in the 7th inning. They now lead the game 3-2. We have a winner. Luvita Hill will take stock of what just happened on the phone. We need to get the last out here in this long, tough 7th inning that has seen the Snappers erase a Colonel 2-0 lead. Land bounces it to third off the chest of Dallas Morris. He barehands, throws, not in time. Another run scores. That's the 4th run charged to the Colonel right-hander Chris Howell, and it's now 4-2 Beloit. An error at third base by Dallas Morris. The ball thudded off his chest. He picked it up with his bare hand, threw to first, not in time, and Dwayne White scores. Going to third, Alan D. San Miguel, and it's been a miserable inning for the Colonels. The Colonels lift Brad Beck, and the 9th man to bat here in the 4-run Beloit 7th will be Toby Gardenhire. A 4-run 7th inning for Beloit, and they lead it 4-2. Will Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill? How about repeating that Springhouse trivia question, giving the answer, and congratulating our winner?
The question was, name the former Cedar Rapids Red who, as a Cincinnati Red, struck out a Major League record 9 straight times over the course of 2 games. The answer was Eric Davis. Congratulations to Bob Moreland of Oxford, Iowa.
Bob Moreland.
Moreland, M-O-R-L-A-N.
Luvita, you're not going to believe this. The Beloit starting pitcher tonight is named Eddie Morlan, M-O-R-L-A-N.
Oh, wow.
That's why I hesitated. I couldn't believe it.
What a coincidence.
What would the chances be that Oxford, Iowa's Bob Moreland would get the Springhouse trivia question correctly with Eddie Morlan pitching for Beloit?
Today was his day.
Today was his day. Well, the Snappers have erupted here in the 7th inning. They've scored 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 Colonel errors. Now, wait a minute. That was not Josh Land. That was Eli Tintor. Eli Tintor batted for left-handed hitting Josh Land. Eli Tintor, a pinch hitter, has not reached on an error by Dallas Morris. He's reached on what's been ruled a bad hop single off Dallas's chest. So, Eli Tintor is at first with a pinch hit single off lefty Brad Beck. So it's 4 runs in this 7th inning on 5 Snapper hits. Wow. 4 runs on 5 hits. Man, we just couldn't avoid the big inning. It all started when Terrence Patterson doubled first pitch swinging to open up this 7th inning. Stephen Merritt cannot win his 8th game of the year. He cannot lose his 2nd game of the year. Here's a squeeze bunt attempt foul to the Snapper third base dugout railing. Ooh, the Colonels wish they could start this 7th inning over, but there's no start overs in baseball. The 9th man to bat in the Beloit 4-run 7th is Toby Gardenhire. 4 runs on 5 hits in this inning, 1 Colonel error. That was by Anderson Rosario, who overran a base hit into right field. Here's a squeeze bunt attempt. It was a safety squeeze, and Gardenhire misses Rafael Cruz's pitch, strike 2. Brad Beck faced one batter and surrendered an infield single. And don't worry about Chris Howell. Chris will be back in better form. He's been roughed up a little bit the last few appearances, but Chris throws strikes. He's a competitor, and he'll find his good stuff out of the Kernel bullpen. We really need him to step it up. Here's a base hit into center that makes it 5-2 in favor of Beloit. And unfortunately, that run is charged to Chris Howell. And the Snappers have batted around here in the 5-run 7th inning. They've scored 5 runs on 6 hits. Oh, brother, that hurts, doesn't it? 5 runs on 6 hits. Toby Gardenhire on a 1-2 pitch singled right over second base, an RBI, number 6 of the year for the 198 hitting number 9 hitter. And here's Terrence Patterson. Terrence got this all started about a half hour ago with a double down the left field line. 5-2 Snappers. A breaking pitch from Rafael Cruz is inside. Ball 1 to Terrence. We'll have a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard coming up in a little bit. Well, you have to look at it this way. The Kernels won the first 2/3 of this game. Here's a ground ball to deep short, backhanded by Stacia. Throw to second. Not in time. Bases loaded. It's an infield single for Terrence Patterson. Terrence Patterson has the 7th hit of the inning for the rampaging Snappers. His 2nd hit of the inning, and their 7th. A ground ball to deep short, backhanded by Stacia. Heinley made a terrific effort to throw out Toby Gardenhire, force him at second, but Gardenhire beat the throw, and now the 11th man to bat here in the Snapper 5-run 7th inning is Drew Thompson. Beloit leads it 5-2. Strike 1 call down the outside corner to Thompson. I believe the scoreboard, well, I'm probably wrong. The scoreboard says 4-2, and I'm going to trust the scoreboard. My scorebook has it 5-2, but I have to trust the scoreboard on this one. Here's a high fly ball into right center. Marco Albano backpedaling, makes the catch. Drew Thompson flies to the second base, pops to the second baseman. Boy, did Marco Albano have to go a long way out into right center to end the inning. Well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's a 5-run inning. The scoreboard says 4, but I'll say 5 runs on 7 Snapper hits, 1 Kernel error. Beloit leaves, the bases loaded. They've now stranded a dozen. And the Kernels will try to mount a comeback here in the last third of the game. We go to the home half of the 7th, and it's Beloit 5, the Kernels 2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Kernels get back to work against right-hander Eddie Morland. Bottom of the 7th. The Kernel 2-0 lead was erased as the Snappers sent 11 men to the plate in the top of the 7th. Here's a high drive back to left at the wall, and leaping and missing it is left fielder Dwayne White, and Mark Trumbo, who homered, who doubled and scored the first run of the game, back in the second, as his second double. Mark Trumbo stroked the first pitch from Eddie Morlan. High off the left field wall. Dwayne White, left high, could not snare it. Mark Trumbo has the Kernels hopefully on the comeback trail with a leadoff double. Here in the bottom of the seventh inning, the Kernels only trail by 3, been out hit 13-6. But 7 of those hits came in Beloit's 5-run top of the seventh inning. A change up on the inside corner. Strike 1 to Brett Martinez. Brett 1 for 2 tonight. Doubled in. Mark Trumbo back in the second inning to give the Kernels an early 1-0 lead. Morlan's fastball is in for strike 2. Top of the hour, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on 1450 KMRY, Cedar Rapids. Mark Trumbo at second. The 0-2 to Brett Martinez. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Beloit scored 5 runs on 7 hits and 1 Kernel error in their 5-run 7th. Brett Martinez strokes a base hit into right. Mark Trumbo will be held at third as the right fielder bobbles it, but then makes a very strong throw home. Good coaching at third with the Kernels trailing by 3. Eric Owens held Mark Trumbo, and the Kernels are right back in business. First and third, nobody out. Dallas Morris at the plate. The Kernels are going to try to rally against right-hander Eddie Morlan. Beloit now gets action in their bullpen. They have a right-hander and a left-hander starting to throw. Interleague baseball abounds on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and Luvita Hill, Kernel broadcast assistant, will slide in. And in just a few minutes, Luvita, when you feel that you're ready, you give me the signal, and we'll take a look at scores from this afternoon and tonight. Interleague play. Everything's an interleague game except the Rocky Cardinal contest at Busch Stadium. Well, the Kernels endured a long, tough top of the 7th inning. They now have runners at the corners with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing Beloit 5-2. Morris swats a fastball straight back, strike 1 to Dallas. Dallas Morris, a .216 hitter on the year, 5 homers, 24 runs driven in. Dallas is 0 for 2 tonight. Mark Trumbo at third, Brett Martinez at first. The 0-1 to Dallas. Pop foul off to the right. Well, Luvita Hill, it's hot and muggy out. It's summer. It's baseball weather. How did the AirTran Quad City International Airport Launchaball sales go? They look brisk from up here.
Well, I think the Launchaball sale went quite well. It went quite well. I sold a lot to little kids and to baseball players from Marengo.
Great. Well, they'll have fun tossing those onto the field after the game.
Yep, a lot of the players from Marengo and from Saints.
1 ball, 1 high to Dallas Morris. Well, Luvita, between pitches here, let's give our fans an update on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Well, we'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn for this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
The 1-2 to Dallas. Fouled straight back. Dallas Morris battling with runners at the corners. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, 5-2 Beloit.
As John mentioned earlier, every game was interleague play except for the Rockies and Redbirds. At Busch Stadium, the Rockies and Redbirds lead the Rockies 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
Eddie Morlan is ahead of Dallas Morris, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 20-year-old right-hander's delivery is stroked foul off to the right. It's still 1-2.
Interleague play games completed already. At Wrigley Field, Tigers and Cubs. Tigers led the Cubs 5-3. At Citizens Bank Park, Tampa Bay turned back the Phillies 10-4. And at Great American Ballpark, the White Sox beat the Reds 11-5.
Those are already finals. Morris cues another pitch foul, this one off to the right. Man, is Dallas Morris having a great at-bat against right-hander Eddie Morlan here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Kernels relinquished their 2-0 lead as Beloit scored 5 in the top of this inning. They lead at 5-2, but this is some at-bat for Dallas Morris.
Game still taking place in interleague play.
A swing and a miss by Dallas, one away here in the bottom of the 7th.
At PNC Park, the Twins lead the Pirates 4-2. Oh, I'm sorry, that game was completed. That was a completed game
That's
at
the
PNC
final.
Park. That was the final. The Twins beat the Pirates 4-2. Game still taking place. At RFK Stadium, the game is tied 5-5. Yankees, Washington in the bottom of the 8th. At Shea Stadium, Baltimore leads the Mets 6-3 in the bottom of the 9th. At Dolphin Stadium, Florida's ahead of Toronto 3-1 in the top of the 8th. At Turner Field, the Red Sox lead the Braves 4-1 in the top of the 8th. At Ameriquest Field, the Rangers are ahead of Arizona 5-0, and that's in the top of the 7th.
Marco Albano now at the plate with 2 on, at the one at third, 1 at first. Runners at the corners for the Kernels, 1 out. Ball 1 to Marco, who's popped to second and grounded to third. It's Trumbo at third. Martinez at first. 5-2 snappers, bottom of the 7th. Albano swings hard and misses. Actually tipped it foul into the glove of catcher Alan D. San Miguel. Strike 1 on Marco.
At Miller Park, the Brewers are ahead of the Indians 4-2 in the top of the 6th. And at Minute Maid Park, Kansas City leads Houston 7-2 in the top of the 7th. Game still to come. The Giants and Mariners at Safeco Field.
Strike 2 called to Albano. He's in the hole 1-2.
At the Coliseum, the Dodgers in Oakland. And at Angel Stadium, our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and San Diego.
That's a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Yes, that is, and we'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Settler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn.
Ball 2 inside to Marco Albano. Luvita, thank you. We have a couple of more items that we haven't had time to pass on to our listening audience yet, and we'll get to those in just a moment. 2-2 to Marco Albano, right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss, but 93-mile-an-hour fastball from 20-year-old Eddie Morlan. He just reared back and blew that one by Marco. Now it's first and third, 2 out for Stantrell Smith, the Colonel number 8 hitter. Luvita Hill, the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, is teeming with fun-loving, frolicking picnickers. And who are they?
We have Nelson Electric Company, United Fire, OPN Architects, Regis Class of 1996, and East Iowa Ski Club. Ooh, Iowa has a ski club?
Yes.
Wow.
A bouncer to second should end the inning. Drew Thompson throws out Stantrell Smith. The Colonels had runners at the corners with nobody out, but could not score against 20-year-old right-hander Eddie Morlan. No runs in the 7th for the Colonels. 2 hits. There were no Beloit errors. The Colonels leave a pair and have stranded 3. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, who joined us for pregame picnics tonight.
Pregame picnics. Oh, I think Regis Class of 1996.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I can bind those on you.
No, that's all right.
Yep, in our pavilion we have Nelson Electric Company, United Fire, and OPN Architects. And for our pregame picnic we had Regis Class of 1996 and the East Iowa Ski Club.
All right.
I was so excited I just rambled those off.
Oh, no. That's fine, Luvita. Luvita will be hosting the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show tomorrow evening with Colonel Trainer Eric Munson. And Luvita, thank you for all the great work during this homestand, and I know you have a commitment with your other job, and it's worthy to note that you're giving back to the community. You're going to go to work for the first time tonight, helping someone in need with Systems Unlimited.
Yes, I am, John. I'm excited. Tonight's my first night.
Well, Luvita, you've done a great job in all aspects this evening throughout this homestand. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
All right. See you tomorrow, John.
Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and the Snappers lead the Colonels 5-2. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey.
Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
A ground ball to third, spins Dallas Morris completely around, and he throws out Paul Kelly, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. 5-2 in favor of Beloit. A good friend of the Kernels, Eli Corrala, is listening in over at Zio Giano's on Williams Boulevard Southwest. And Eli, thank you. You're going to be treating the entire Kernel Ball Club to that wonderful ribeye steak, potatoes, salad, and cheesecake. And we're in the top of the 8th inning. It's 5-2 Beloit. Rafael Cruz wings in a strike call to Eric Liss. Eric's 0 for 4 tonight. The Kernels led it 2-0 going into the top of the 7th inning, but Beloit sent 11 men to the plate and exploded for 5 runs on 7 hits and 1 Kernel error. And then the Kernels came roaring back, it appeared, in the bottom of the 7th, had runners at first and third, nobody out, but Eddie Morlan got the next 3 Kernels, and Eddie is trying to win his 3rd game of the year. Swing and a miss by Eric Liss. He fans, and that's the 3rd time in a row the number 2 hitter in the league with a .324 average has gone down on strikes. Here's Edward Ovale, O-V-A-L-L-E. Ovale singled into left.
2/3 inning pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, no walks, 1 strikeout, 19 pitches, 14 strikes. Final lineup, Beck. No innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no hits, no walks, no strikeouts.
We may have an attendant shortly. Ken Franz of our staff usually gets the lowdown through his radio before anybody else. And Ken is going to write a number I hope starts with the number 4. If it does, it'll be our biggest crowd of the year. Kenny is nodding his head or shaking his head no, but I bet it'll be well up into the 3,000s. Here's a high pop foul drifting over the Kernel first base dugout, and it's no balls, 1 strike to Edward Ovale. Ken is awaiting an exact number. He has a tentative number, but he's piped into a source I have very little knowledge about. I don't know how we get an attendance count. I don't know how it's shared with the staff, but I do know this. Ken has an inside listen to it every night, and he's been nice to bring it up to us so that we can share it with you before it's announced by Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Ahern sponsors our attendance guests every night here at the ballpark. I think Andrea Murphy counts the tickets by hand. However she does it, it's very accurate. Ovale bounces a pitch foul past third, and now a fastball is high, according to the base umpire, and Edward Ovale is still alive at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rafael Cruz came on and surrendered a couple of hits, but was not charged with any runs in the Beloit big 5-run 7th inning. Beloit's out hit us tonight 13-7. They lead the game 5-2, but the scoreboard is not indicative of what a great time everybody's having here tonight. Swinging a foul by the right-handed batter. That evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're going to ask Ken Franz to stay with us for a few minutes. Ken, thank you for the great news. Wow. 3,702 here tonight. 3,702 here tonight. Rafael Cruz, the 3rd relief pitcher used by the Kernels, fires a fastball, swung on and missed by Edward Ovale. Strike 3, a 1-2-3 inning for right-hander Rafael Cruz down in order. Go the Snappers. One big inning for Beloit. It's the difference in the game as we go to the home half of the 8th. The Snappers on top of the Kernels 5-2. And this is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellow Book combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Anderson Rosario, the number 9 hitter in the Kernel order, will lead off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Anderson singled to start the 6th, but was then thrown out on a pitch out trying to steal second. 5-2 Snappers. Eddie Morlan has pitched a whale of a ball game for Beloit. He has us shackled on 7 hits through 7 innings, but 2 more innings to go. A big swing and a miss by Anderson Rosario, right-handed batter. Beloit's trying to even this series at a game apiece, and they're trying to take the season series edge against us, 4-2. Kernels won last night behind Nick Adenhart. Got 6 shutout innings from Stephen Merrick tonight. High heat from Eddie Morlan. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Anderson Rosario. One tough inning for the Kernels, and that's the difference in the game so far. A 5-run Snapper 5th inning that wiped out a Kernel 2-0 lead. Strike 3 called to Anderson Rosario, and that strikeout is the 5th in the last 2 1/3 innings by Eddie Morlan, who has gotten stronger as this night is gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts for the 20-year-old right-hander from Miami. A high draft pick by the Minnesota Twins, Eddie Morlan. Here's a high fly ball down the line and left, chased by Dwayne White, and it's on to the Randy Kehl-Hopkins Picnic Pavilion. Strike 1 on Brad Kuhn. Eddie Morlan was a Twin 3rd-round pick in 2004. And he pitched in 10 games as a starter for the Snappers last year. His second year of pro ball, he went 4-4 in 10 starts with a 4.39 ERA. Brad Kuhn is 1 for 3 tonight. He extended his hitting streak to 12 games with a 1-out single in the 3rd, and now he pokes one foul right above Ann Hearn. Ann is sitting with husband Eric next to the Kernel dugout. And Ann, if you're tuned in, give us a wave up here. Ann, you kept Eric from the races again. I don't know how you do it. Paul Fugate is also tuned into the game. Paul is waving up here as well. Swing and a miss by Brad Kuhn. Boy, has Eddie Morlan gotten stronger as this game has gone on. 8 strikeouts for the right-hander. And Eli Caralla, I'll be giving you a call at Zio Janos to let you know this game is in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Kernels trail 5-2. Eli at swing and a miss on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Heinle Stacia belted his first home run of the year with 2 out in the 6th inning to give the Kernels a 2-0 lead. Morlan is just reaching back and throwing gas. That one 96 miles an hour. Woo, brother, to see a guy throw this hard at this level is quite something. The 1-1 to Heinle, a late swing and a miss, 94-mile-an-hour hummer. Eddie Morlan is a man among boys at age 20 right now in this game. He's about to fan the side. Can Heinle keep him from doing it? Yes, he fouls one straight back.
Your attention, please. Reggie is now on the concourse, waiting on all requests for cover.
The 1-2 to Heinle. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, 94 miles an hour. 9 strikeouts in 8 innings. Yes, what Morlan is throwing, according to Kenny Franz, he's absolutely right. Aspirin tablets, absolute aspirin tablets. Morlan fans the side in the Kernel 8th inning, and as we go to the top of the 9th, Beloit on top, 5-2. And you're enjoying Kernel baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Pepsi Smash.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and like you got those butterflies every time when they call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmash.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
We go to the top of the 9th inning. Tim DeJurgis will come on, and he's answered a U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. Rafael Cruz went 1 1/3, allowed no runs on 2 hits, struck out 2, and walked none. Tim DeJurgis will pitch here in the top of the 9th inning. And he misses low, ball 1. To Dwayne White, 5-2 in favor of Beloit. 3,702 looking on. White pops one down the third baseline into shallow left. Heinle Stacia streaking down the left field line, gloves it on the run. And Dwayne White is the first out here in the top of the 9th inning. Heinle Stacia had to run hard, and he made the catch in fair ground, according to the plate umpire Isaiah Boykins. 1 out here in the 9th inning. Tim DeJurgis, 0-4 this year. He's pitching for the 21st time, a 3.35 ERA. And DeJurgis has pitched 35 innings, allowed only 25 hits, struck out 33 in 35 innings, walked 18, the league hitting .203 against Tim DeJurgis. 6'5" right-hander. If Ken Franz has to leave, Ken, I need somehow, I need Sonia Massey up here if possible. I need a human body with me. Ball 1 is low and away to Alan D. San Miguel. Okay, thanks, Kenny. I'm going to have you help me make sure our post-game spread is good with the guys downstairs. Now Tim DeJurgis on a 2-1 pitch, drops in a change-up, strike 2 to D. San Miguel. Unusual name, isn't it? Alan D. San Miguel. He's from Australia. Right-handed batter. We haven't had a chance, because of the fast pace of this game, to relay our baseball fun fact to you, but we will here shortly with one out, nobody on. Beloit batting in the top of the ninth, leading 5-2, and there's a change-up. Did the batter go around? No, says base umpire Clint Fagan. It's a full count now to Alan D. San Miguel. Our baseball fun fact. Between 1928 and 1959, only 3 players stole over 50 bases in one season. Wow, that's hard to believe, isn't it? A bouncer to third, and Dallas Morris has it. His throw is high, but Mark Trumbo reaches up to nab it. And Alan D. San Miguel has bounced out to third, 2 gone here in the Beloit ninth inning. Louis Aparicio stole 50 bases for the White Sox, for the Go-Go White Sox in 1959. But it was in 1962 when Maury Wills changed the face of baseball forever. He broke the seemingly unassailable record of 96 stolen bases by Ty Cobb. That record stood since 1915. And Maury Wills with an undreamed-of total of 104 stolen bases. People forget that. The Dodgers, of course, with Maury Wills as one of their catalysts, went on to win World Championships in 1963 and 1965. Ball one low to Eli Tintor, and Tintor lifts the 1-1 pitch towards the Papa John's Plaza. Mark Trumbo goes over and makes a fine running catch, reaches up into the Plaza section to catch it. Eli Tintor fouls out to first, and what a great inning for Tim DeJurgis as he retires the Snappers in order, 1-2-3, nothing across. We now go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and Beloit with a 5-run seventh, a race to Kernel 2-0 lead. Snappers on top, 5-2. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Kernel team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Kernel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. Here we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and Jordan Renz leading off against Eddie Morlan, fouls it high in the air, strike one. Eddie Morlan's trying to go the distance. He has struck out 9, including 5 out of the last 6 Kernel batters. Jordan Renz, a little bit rusty to be expected. He hasn't played in over a week. Jordan tonight is popped to short, grounded pitcher shortstop to first, and then struck out. 9 strikeouts for right-hander Eddie Morlan. Jordan is nothing for 3. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 5-2 Beloit. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. Ooh, a change or a... Well, I don't know what that was. The Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator says a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, low and away. And Jordan Renz is in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is the 4th straight strikeout for Eddie Morlan, his 10th of the night. Boy, the Twins may really have something in Eddie Morlan. He's only 20 years old, and he has struck out 4 in a row. And 10 on the night. 1 away here in the Kernel ninth inning. 5-2 Beloit. Mark Trumbo has a pair of doubles. Ball one over the head of the catcher, Alan D. San Miguel. Kernels have been out hit 13-7. 7 of the snapper 13 hits came in their big 5-run 7th inning. Mark Trumbo fouls one straight back. That has one of the Colonel Pep Squad members ducking for cover as it hit the plexiglass of the umpire's doors. Last night, Beloit committed 2 errors that led to 2 unearned Colonel runs in a 3-2 Colonel win. Tonight, the Kernels have committed 2 errors. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and Mark Trumbo's down on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. How about Eddie Morlan? He's now struck out 5 straight Kernels and 7 out of the last 8 Colonel hitters. And suddenly the Kernels are down to their last out. 3,702 looking on here tonight. And Beloit is 1 out away from evening this series at a game apiece. Ball 1 upstairs to Brett Martinez. Can Brett reach against this flamethrower? A high fly ball into deep center. Going back is Orvali. He has it to end the game. What a catch in deep center is Brett Martinez. Brett Martinez stroked it into deep center. It was caught by Edward Orvali, and the Kernels have dropped this one 5-2. 5-2 Beloit. We'll be back with the totals, highlights, and more in just a moment. Let's tell you, though, that before we send it away for a break, that the Kernels led this game 2-0 going into the top of the 7th inning, but Beloit scored 5 runs on 7 hits, sent 11 men to the plate, and the Snappers wind up evening the series at a game apiece with a big 5-2 win here tonight. Totals, highlights, and more coming your way in just a moment. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
Well, welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. The AirTran Quad City International Airport Launch-A-Ball promotion is unfolding below, with fans who have purchased tennis balls for $1, tossing them onto the diamond, trying to get them in a multitude of hula hoops for a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to Genghis Grill and a chance to qualify for a round-trip airfare to Orlando, Florida. Too much of Eddie Morlan tonight. The Kernels had a 2-0 lead going into the 6th inning behind Stephen Merrick, but the Snappers put together a 5-run 7th inning and 11 men came to the plate. They scored 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 Kernel error to erase a 2-0 Kernel lead. Eddie Morlan goes the distance. He's now 3-3. Eddie Morlan struck out 7 of his 11 total Kernels in the last 3 innings. That's right. Morlan struck out 7 Kernels in the last 3 innings, and he was totally dominant tonight in giving the Kernels just 2 runs on 7 hits. Struck out 11. Eddie Morlan walked none. The Kernels took the lead in this game on back-to-back doubles by Mark Trumbo and Brett Martinez. That was in the 2nd inning. The Kernels led it 1-0. The Snappers had Stephen Merrick in and out of trouble all night. Stephen weathered the storm, though. And in fact, Stephen Merrick pitched 6 shutout innings, striking out 5, walking 3, allowing 6 hits. The Snappers had runners at first and third with 1 out in the 1st inning and didn't score. They had a runner at first with 2 out in the 2nd inning and didn't score. They had a runner at second base with 1 out in the 3rd inning and didn't score. They had a runner at first with 2 outs in the 4th inning and didn't score. Beloit had 2 hits and a walk in the 5th inning and didn't score. The Snappers also had runners at first and second with 1 out in the 6th inning and did not score. But the roof caved in on the Kernels in the 7th inning. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. The Kernels made it 2-0 in the 6th inning when Heinle Stacia muscled up and belted one just to the right of the 390 mark over the right field wall, his first home run of the year, and that gave the Kernels a 2-0 lead. In the 7th inning, though, with Stephen Merrick lifted, the Snappers got a leadoff double from Terrence Patterson. The next batter, Drew Thompson, flew out to left. Paul Kelly then singled into right, and Anderson Rosario overran it. That allowed Terrence Patterson to score to make it 2-1 Kernels. Paul Kelly went to second on the air by the Kernel right fielder. With Eric List struck out looking, and get this, with the Kernels leading 2-1 and 2 outs, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Snappers reached. 5 of them on singles, 1 of them on a hit batsman. That's right, with 2 outs and the Kernels leading 2-1 in the 7th, Edward O'Valley singled into left to tie the game at 2. Dwayne White singled through the middle. Alan D. San Miguel was hit by a pitch. The Kernels lifted Chris Howell and brought in Brad Beck. Brad surrendered an infield RBI single by pinch hitter Eli Tintor. Toby Gardenhire on a 2-strike pitch, then wrapped a single into center. Terrence Patterson also came through with an infield single, and before it was over, the Snappers erupted for 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 Kernel error, and they took the lead in the top of the 7th, 4 good, 5-2. Eddie Morlan was untouchable the last 3 innings. Mark Trumbo greeted him with a double in the 7th inning. Brett Martinez laced a single into right. The Kernels had runners at first and third with nobody out, but Eddie Morlan struck out Morris, struck out Albano, got Santrell Smith to bounce out to second. Eddie Morlan fanned the side in the 8th inning, struck out the first 2 in the Kernel 9th, and then Brett Martinez flew out to deep center to end the game. Final line score, Beloit 5 runs, 13 hits, no errors. They stranded a dozen. The Kernels 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. We left 3. Winning pitcher, Eddie Morlan. He's 3-3. Kernel loser was Chris Howell. Chris is now 1-5. The game took 2 hours and 29 minutes, and a big crowd of 3,702 enjoyed Reggie and the baseball action. 5-2 Beloit. We'll be back in just a moment with our PRC play of the game here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one.
To you, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Florentino.
You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, a pasta makes you say, well, come to the O'Donnell's for Il Italiano. Come to the O'Donnell's, the pasta.
Colonel Curtain Call, segment 2, and it's time for our PRC play of the game. For every Colonel home run hit this season, PRC donates $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. The Colonels led 1-0 with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Heinley Stacia was at the plate for the Colonels. Here's our PRC play of the game.
It's a 9-holer out there.
Heinley Stacia hits one high and deep to right. Terrence Patterson back in front of the warning track. Adios! Goes by! Home run number 1!
Yes, now it's 2-0?
Yes! 2-0 Colonels! Heinley Stacia circles the bases with his first home run of the season.
Was that 390?
Over the 390 mark. It snuck over the 8-foot-high wall over the head of Terrence Patterson. It's only the second home run surrendered by right-hander Eddie Morlan, and the Colonels lead it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0. 2-0 Colonels. That's our PRC play of the game. Heinley Stacia's 2-out home run over the right field wall, his first of the year. And as I said, PRC donates $25 for every Colonel home run to the Haycap Food Reservoir. Heinley Stacia's home run to make it 2-0 Colonels, our PRC play of the game. And PRC's Community Care has now donated $1,025 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. If you're looking for a job where you'll be a part of an amazing team that cares for your needs and gives you the ability to grow, visit PRC online. Their address, www.prcnet.com. 5-2 Beloit. They send 11 men to the plate and score 5 in the 7th inning to erase a Colonel 2-0 lead, and they win it to even the series. Stay tuned. Coming up next, our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here on the Colonel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and by Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Beloit takes this game with a 5-run 7th inning, erasing a Colonel 2-0 lead, and they win it 5-2. Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where a big crowd of 3,702 enjoyed every minute of the entertainment provided by Reggie this evening. And now it's time in our third segment of the Colonel Curtain Call to take a look at a bevy, I mean a ton of finals on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. It's sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, Jerry Shubat, and Al Shetler. Let's start. It's all interleague play except for the game in St. Louis tonight, and that's a final. The Cardinals clobbered Colorado 8-1 in the only non-interleague game of the day or evening. This afternoon at Wrigley Field on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the Tigers upended the Cubs 5-3. Tonight at PNC Park, the Twins toppled the Pirates 4-2. Interleague action at RFK Stadium in our nation's capital. The Yankees whipped the Nationals 7-5. At Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia, it was the Devil Rays trouncing the Phillies 10-4. a final from Shea Stadium. It was the Orioles 6 and the Mets 3. The White Sox drubbed the Reds 12-4 tonight in the Queen City of Cincinnati. The White Sox 12, the Reds 4. A final from Turner Field. The Braves bowed to the Red Sox. Boston wins it 4-1 over Atlanta. At Dolphin Stadium, in a low-scoring affair, it was the Marlins trimming the Blue Jays 3-1. That's a final. And a final interleague play at Minute Maid Park. The Royals crowned Houston, Kansas City 7, and the Astros 2. Now, they are in the bottom of the ninth inning. Check that. They're in the top of the ninth inning at Miller Park, and the Brewers are ahead of Cleveland 6-4 in the top of the ninth inning at Miller Park. On the West Coast, interleague action. Well, let's begin down in Texas. That's not on the West Coast. The Diamondbacks are batting in the top of the ninth inning against the Rangers at Ameriquest Field. Texas leads the Diamondbacks 5-3. At McAfee Coliseum in Oakland, the Dodgers have taken a 2-1 lead over the Athletics. That's in the top of the third inning. Our parent club, the Angels, have a 3-0 lead over the Padres, and that's in the bottom of the second inning at Angels Stadium in Anaheim. And a game just underway at Safeco Field. The Giants are tangling with the Mariners, and it's San Francisco 2, Seattle 2 in the top of the second inning in the Emerald City of Seattle. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, sponsored as always by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Brad Dunn, and Gary Shubat. The Kernels will try to take the lead back in this series tomorrow evening. We have fireworks in store for you. Our Saturday night fireworks series marches forward, and we'll have baseball for you tomorrow evening in the Zone, 1600 a.m. We'll bring you the game at 6:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Luvita Hill will be hosting the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, our broadcast assistant, and she'll be interviewing Colonel Trainer Eric Munson. Well, the Kernels were golden through 6 innings tonight behind Stephen Merrick, leading the game 2-0, but Beloit wiped out that lead with a 5-run seventh, sending 7 men to the plate and scoring 4 runs with 2 out. And the Snappers, behind flame-throwing Miami native Cuban-born Eddie Morlan, beat the Kernels 5-2. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. We had a great time bringing you the action, and we'll be at it right back here tomorrow at 6:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Once again, the final, Beloit 5, the Kernels 2. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.